Brookshire along with Wayne Walker. Wayne, you and I played in this stadium and against tough teams. You come in, you're 9-1. You're coming in against a team that's like 2-8, but Schottenheimer's team really is a better club than that, and their defense is very good.
Well, they are. They're number 1 in the AFC in defense, and the 49ers number 2 in the NFC in offense. So there's a big matchup right there. Marty Schottenheimer, though, when he took over the ball club 2 weeks ago, wanted to do one thing: cut down on sacks and help his quarterback out. He's done that by establishing a running game, so I fully expect them to run the ball about 40 times today.
All right, what about the cultural shock? The San Francisco 49ers, a glamour team, 9-1, Super Bowl champions a couple of years ago. How about the old dressing room in this old ball yard that was built in 1931? Is that something to overcome?
Well, it sure is. You know, it's kind of glum when you walk in here. That locker room's about the size of our broadcast booth up here. To get on the field, you have to walk down through a real dark tunnel and things like that. But Bill Walsh has told his team all week to prepare for that and prepare for the elements. He also wants to get a running game going today. He told us very early this week that he wants to get Roger Craig and Wendell Tyler involved in it immediately.
You could see the coach on the sidelines. He was doing a little Rocky imitation earlier because he has not had his team play well against the Central Division of the AFC yet. They lost to Pittsburgh. They should have been beaten by Cincinnati a week ago. And as you know, this team right here is just primed for an upset. Wersching will kick off. And Davis and Biner, the rookie, will be waiting for the kick. And the ball slipped off the tee. It wasn't blown off. It just sort of oozed off.
Well, this is a tough field for any soccer-style kicker, too. It's a little mushy. It's going to get worse as the day goes on, and those guys come in with that left foot and plant it, and sometimes they have a problem.
Here we go, the 11th ball game, and it will not be an easy one for either team. That's Biner at the 10. Biner, the rookie, gets a good break and gets out to the 32. Look out, the 49ers are saying fumble. And San Francisco has recovered a fumble, a turnover on the opening play. And as you people that have watched San Francisco football this year, they live on your mistakes and your turnovers.
I think it was John Frank and Derek Harmon, and I think it was 24, old Derek Harmon, who came up with that ball. Check it right here. Here's the kick by Wersching. And Biner, the starting fullback, makes a good, tough run. We'll see who makes the hit. There it comes right in there. And it looked like it was Blanchard Montgomery, one of the linebackers, who stripped it out, and Derek Harmon was there with the ball.
Wow, before we've had a chance to set the lineups, Montana's throwing his first pass. He dumps it to Tyler. Tyler gets one block. Good defense, though. Tyler's thrown back at the 35-yard line, and the crowd comes to their feet. And this defense can do it to you.
They got great linebackers, Tom. Perhaps the best unit in the National Football League.
Offensively, Joe Montana, number 1 in all the numbers in passing for all time, really, in 3 categories. Wendell Tyler wanting to run the ball a lot today. Roger Craig, one of the great receivers out of the backfield in football. Dwight Clark and Freddie Solomon, what do I say? 2 Pro Bowlers. Earl Cooper. Then it's Billy Shields in for Paris. Ayers, Quillen, Cross, Fonhorst. They started the Pro Bowl in the Super Bowl in 81. This is Craig out over inside the 30 to the 29. Eddie Johnson making the tackle. And here's the club that Wayne Walker told you was first in the AFC. Reggie Camp, Golick at nose tackle, and Keith Baldwin at right end. Linebackers, 3 number 1 drafts here. Chip Banks, Eddie Johnson, who just made that tackle. Cousineau, you know what he is, number 1 out of Ohio State. And Clay Matthews has 7 sacks. Minifield, Dixon, Gross, and Rockins, inexperienced but good-looking athletes in that secondary. It's 3rd down and 9. Montana throwing, overthrowing Nehemiah at the 15-yard line. He just airmailed that one over, one of the fastest football players of all time.
And what you just saw in this first series is indicative of what the Cleveland defense has done all season long. As we mentioned a couple times already, number 1 in their conference. But the thing that makes that so impressive is the fact that their offense hasn't controlled the ball. They've been out on the field a long time and still have the stats to be up there number 1.
Wersching now is coming off 7 straight field goals that are good. He's 5 of 7 from this distance. This will be a 47-yard attempt. He drives it. Dead, solid, perfect. Through the rain, through the breeze, and through the cheering crowd for defense, Wersching made it. It's 3-0.
The If you've got what it takes and really care, there's a special kind of life you'll want to share. Serving your country is a special call. It's good for you. It's good for all. Not all who try fit the bill. It calls for brains. It calls for skill in the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. High-tech and the services go hand in hand. It's a whole new world. You're in demand in the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. You'll move up. You'll feel proud. You'll stand out above the crowd in the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. But most of all, you'll earn the respect of the people and country you're there to protect in the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. It's a great place to start.
Hey, you know what my job is? Well, this is my office, a movie set. Yeah, I'm a stuntman, and I depend on my equipment.
That's why Terry Leonard likes a tough Ford Ranger like this one. With a V6 engine, no small V6 tops for power. Tough twin I-beam suspension, a strong ladder-type frame, tough double-box walls, and the widest cab in its class.
That's terrific, Terry!
It's easy for my Ford Ranger and me.
The best-built American trucks are built Ford Tough.
If you missed this field goal, you might think this is the opening kickoff of the ball game. 13:26 left in the first, and 49ers took that fumble on the opening kickoff, turned it into 3 points, and Wersching will now get his second kickoff of the game, and it's blown off the tee again. Davis and Biner again to receive. The crowd is into this football game. They were expecting 63 or 4,000, and most of those people came even though it's sort of an off track. A credit to football in this great city. Wersching's kickoff from the 35. It's a line drive. Davis letting it bounce through and out of the end zone. He's got to touch that down. That's a live pellet. And now the Cleveland offense will get their first snap. McDonald, who's been sacked 44 times, but early they used to throw the ball about 40 some odd or 50 times a game. Now they run. Boyce Green over 100 yards rushing a week ago. Biner, the blocker at fullback. And of course Pruitt had the arthroscopic job on his knee done just this past week and is starting to run already. Uriel Harris, who used to play with Miami, is in there, and there's Newsom, one of the great receivers in all of football. Deacon, Jackson, Babb, DeLamielleure, and Billy Contz is going to be tested at right tackle, the big Penn Stater. The motion man, strong side run by Boyce Green. Fumbles the football, but they're going to blow that one dead. Dwayne Board recovered what is going to be called back. Looked like a fumble.
You'd almost think that Cleveland would be used to this. They fumbled twice now, and 2 times they've had the ball. They played in the driving rain last week in Buffalo, so they should be used to the wet stuff, but so far they haven't handled it very well. Keena Turner in there with a hand on the football and pulled it away.
Boy, is he fast. Took the inside and got away with it. He was trying to be cut off there. As we said, the big right tackle, Cody Risen, went down in preseason. So the big fella Contz is really learning his trade, but this is a tough way to do it. McDonald, a left-hander, out in the flat. This is Boyce Green. Green with some yardage to the 30-yard line. Looks like enough for a first down. Jimmy Fonhorst made the tackle at that spot. Let's get the defense set for the 49ers. A 9-1 ball club. Stuckey, Tuiasosopo, and Dwayne Board. And as you know, that will change from play to play and really from series to series. Buns, Ellison, Jack Reynolds, and Keena Turner. Fonhorst in there for Reynolds pretty quickly now. Dwight Hicks, Eric Wright, Williamson, and Ronnie Lott now is back at safety, and Hicks is playing the left corner. That's a good secondary, no matter how you scramble them up. If you've got those 4 on the field, that's a pretty good board. 1st and 10 for Cleveland. McDonald, out of time, and throws a slider that is caught at the 47. Number 80 comes up with it. Adams. The ball was sort of sinking on him, but he caught it.
Willis Adams is basically a wide receiver who they line up in the tight end situation. You saw him in tight that time on Jack Reynolds originally. Reynolds back where he's supposed to be in the hook zone, but a good touch by McDonald fitted in there between the defenders.
He always threw a very tight spiral. I'm talking about McDonald, the quarterback. It's a catchable pass. His problem has been he's on his back a lot of the time. Maybe throwing too often. Brennan and Harris, the outside receivers. McDonald, good set, out in the flat, and off the hands of Green. That may be a lateral. He better watch that one. Dwayne Board quickly over to make sure. If it was a lateral, he could have gained possession.
Looking at Paul McDonald there, and he said that earlier in the year, as you mentioned, Tom, when they were throwing the ball, 40 times a game or so and airing it out downfield, that he couldn't get a feel for the game that way. And now that they've gone to more of a running and play action situation here in Cleveland, he's much more comfortable.
Of course, last week in the first win for Schottenheimer's team beating Buffalo. They got 150 some odd yards rushing, so the play action is much more effective. 2nd down and 10. You're looking at the USC man that took the Trojans to 2 Rose Bowl victories. 2nd down and 10. Inside handoff. That's Boyce Green. Green picks up 5.5 yards. Ronnie Lott sticks him at that point.
Not only does the quarterback like the new running game, but the offensive linemen do too. You've got your veterans like Doug Deacon at tackle and DeLon Lear at guard, and they said that it's no fun in setting up the pass block 40 times in game and getting your head beat on.
Especially the second half when they know you're going to throw it. Yeah, they take the outside rushes at that point. A good offensive line, but they like to be able to run the football. It makes their job a lot easier. Babb is that big center. Harris and Brennan, the outside receivers. Brennan has good speed. Ozzie Newsome is in the slot. Here's the handoff, fumbled by Biner, picked up by number 78. Tuiasosopo has it at the Cleveland 35.5.
The second fumble of the ball game by Biner. Off the shotgun, and the shotgun formation was just put in a couple of weeks ago by Marty Schottenheimer after he took over. Inside handoff here. He just doesn't have the handle at all on it. Now Tuiasosopo will pick it up, and watch McDonald. He's got to come over and make the stop here on a 260-pounder.
Ricky Ellison was in pretty good position, too. Big turnover. That's 2, and it's 3-0 San Francisco.
I tell you, playing polo is a lot tougher than it looks.
Sure is.
And even though the horses do the running, you still can work up the thirst.
So after a chucker or two, we have Westerns drink light beer from Miller.
Yeah, light tastes great, and it's got a third less calories than a regular beer.
And it's less filling.
And that's important, because tomorrow we're going to try our hand at water polo.
Yeah, I sure hope those horses can swim.
Me too.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer. And less.
Stop!
Hey, who are you?
Excuse me. I'd just like to check out your small-size Ford Ranger. That's an advanced engine.
New electronic 4-cylinder fuel injection, but...
I see Ranger's roomy.
Widest cab of any small truck. But who are you?
Big payload, too.
Wow, 1,765 pounds. But who are you? What do they call you?
Melvin Fenstermacher, Cedar Rapids, Iowa.
America's truck, built Ford Tough.
Marty Schottenheimer's 3rd ball game as the head coach of the Cleveland Browns, former linebacker, and nice to see an LB in a head coaching position, right, Wayne?
He's a nice man, too. I was really impressed with him the other day.
Well, his tutor, of course, was Sam Mitigliano. He hated to have Sam leave, but if anybody was going to take over, Sam wanted him to do it. Out in the flat, number 33, Roger Craig. Let's go to New York City right now, and an update with Brent Musburger. Brent?
Rookie, the Eagles strike first on the unbeaten Miami Dolphins. Ron Jaworski to his favorite receiver. The pass is a beauty. Mike Quick, 19 yards. It's now 7-0 Eagles. Back to Brookie.
Okay, Brent, and that Eagle nickel defense against the pass might give a young quarterback, even a brilliant one like Marino, a lot of trouble.
Well, they're well coached. They'll play a good game against Miami today defensively.
2 fumbles, both recovered by San Francisco. Cleveland hasn't had a chance really to get their engine warmed up. Montana on play action, a lot of time. Now he's going to run around. Montana's going to get out of bounds safely. Chased there by Cousineau. Marking at about the 32.
Oh, he wanted Earl Cooper deep off play action that time, and Cooper's bounced around pretty good coming off the line by the linebackers and then bumped once by a defensive back and really never got to the point where he got a pattern run.
Boy, look at that on the right-hand column, that first against the pass in the AFC. Important thing against San Francisco a couple of years ago, but Schottenheimer told us that the 49ers run the ball so well right now, you got to be ready for both.
Well, and he had a lot of respect for Roger Craig, didn't he?
Said he thought he was the best all-purpose back in maybe the NFC. That's a broad statement. 3rd down and 6. Montana dumping it to Tyler, who catches it. Tyler gets inside the 25 to the 24. Randy Cross was out there in front of Tyler and almost got in his way as he was trying to catch it.
Good hustle by number 51 Cross, so he got a couple of blocks. He kept a guy off Tyler initially, and then when the pass was completed, hustled downfield and got another one.
Montana with 4 interceptions a week ago against Cincinnati, but his overall numbers in this league, he still is the all-time percentage leader in interceptions, 2.6. out of 100 throws are intercepted. That is fantastic. 1st and 10 for San Francisco. They lead 3-0. The play action pass on 1st down. Montana drills it. It's caught inside the 15. Dwight Clark, tall and a good target.
Playing a deep zone against the 49ers here, Cleveland is, and Clark will come off without anybody in front of him. He'll just run it down about 12, 13 yards and run a hook pattern. As he sees it's a deep zone, he puts it up right in between the linebackers and the defensive backs. And you see Eddie Johnson, the linebacker, come back, cannot get back there in time, and a lot of the receivers are wearing gloves today. Those black gloves they have on are scuba gloves, like they wear with the scuba gear.
Scuba gear, huh?
Yeah.
He went high to get that, and he's a great receiver. 1st and 10 now. Wendell Tyler gets to the 10-yard line. Gets hit very hard. Tyler, the 6th rusher in the NFC, having some year and not fumbling the ball, not turning it over. Also having a few words, it looks like, with the men in brown.
Came into the game with 824 yards, and almost more impressive than that is the fact that he has a 5-yard average per carry.
And only a few fumbles. In fact, the 49ers have only fumbled the football and lost it 7 times this season. Has a lot to do with that 9-1 record. 2nd down, and call it a long 7. Not much, just inside the 10 to the 9. That's Tyler. Well, that's good defense on the line of scrimmage.
I think Golick and Baldwin, the big defensive end, made the stop up there. These guys are tough inside the 20-yard line. This Cleveland defense. Active linebackers, 3 first-rounders out of their 4-man linebacking crew.
Then Johnson, the fast one at about 215 out of Louisville, is a very, very fine football player. Yeah, they are class. Built on defense, and only a draft choice or 2 away, perhaps on the offensive side. The line of scrimmage will need some improvement. Here's a big play early in this game. 3rd down and 3 in the flat. That's Ring. Ring is tackled hard at the 9-yard line. Good defense. Eddie Johnson and others in on that tackle.
Well, you see how they get to the ball. They drop back and help their defensive backs out. That linebacking crew does. And when the ball's dumped in front, they're on it like bees.
And Wersching comes in. The busiest player so far for either team has been Ray Wersching.
I'll tell you, he popped that first one through, and this, like I said, this is a tough field. And talking to him at practice yesterday, he said when you get on a field like this, you can't slash at it like you normally do. You have to be real teeny, real gingerly and approach it that way.
He has 8 consecutive successful field goals. Montana's hold out of a high snap was good, and Wersching keeps his record intact. But the Browns haven't given up a touchdown margin yet. San Francisco 6, Cleveland nothing. Tom Brookshire and Wayne Walker at Cleveland Stadium in Cleveland. It's a rainy, cold day, but look at this stat. That'll heat you up. 1 TD in the last 12 quarters.
It's kept them in almost every ball game except one this year. They were blown away by Seattle, and that's really the only ball game that they have been out of. And look what it's done for them in this game. It could be 14-0 here, but we got 6-zip.
Miner, the rookie, is back with Bruce Davis. Schottenheimer going with his return man that's already fumbled twice. This is Davis. Davis gets a good wedge and just short of the 23-yard line. McCall gets down quickly, and also Carl Monroe for San Francisco. Scores from other games: New Orleans 7, Atlanta nothing. That's in the first quarter. That's a Todd to Brenner, the tight end, 37-yard TD pass. Indianapolis 3-0 over the Jets, a 44-yard field goal by Allegra. I'm not too familiar with Mr. Allegra's kicking prowess, but he's kicked one for Hersey already. 1st and 10. The ball is on the 24-yard line. McDonald is the quarterback. McDonald straight drop back out in the flat. That's boy screen. Doesn't get much. Give him a couple of yards. Reynolds got there early, and Keena Turner was there. And Stuckey. Reynolds will see more action if Boyce Green begins to run the football, do you think?
That's exactly right. They take him out of there most of the time on passing situations, but if Cleveland starts ramming it right at the 49ers, you'll see a lot of number 64.
49ers give a lot of ground up, and they're not awesome and overpowering, but they're a darn good defensive club, too.
And they never beat themselves mentally.
Good point. 2nd down and 6. Inside drive. That's Green. Boyce Green maybe gets a yard. Let's go to New York City now on an NFL update with Brent Musburger.
Brookie, do you remember what Bart Starr would do? 4th and short and throw it to Dollar? Well, that's what Richard Todd does right here. The receiver's Hobie Brenner, and it's a touchdown for New Orleans against Atlanta. They're up by 7. Back to Brookie.
Each of those teams is sort of disappointing this year. You know, Atlanta and New Orleans, I both expected a real chase in this Western Division. The Rams, the only ones that even stayed close to San Francisco.
Todd and Brenner are so young, they might not remember Bart Starr and Boyd Dollar.
I almost wanted to say I didn't remember them either, but it's 3rd down and a 5 on the 29. McDonald has yet to sort of get the team started. Out of the shotgun, McDonald throws it. It's a completed pass at the 40 to Adams.
Early
Flags
flag.
are down, huh?
Early flag and then a whistle. They wanted to stop play. And
false start as we read the lips of Silva. False start. Does that mean the offensive lineman pulled the arm up?
Looks like it.
Marty Schottenheimer said that the thing that relieved him of feeling so badly and guilty was when he was told that he could be the head coach of the Cleveland Browns, that Sam Rutigliano said, you've got to take it. It's the job you should have, and a change is just that. It's just a change. 3rd down. And call it 9.5 yards from the shotgun. McDonald pouring it in and underthrowing number 82. There's a flag down. Newsom could not possibly catch it, and the flag is down around the pass protection pocket.
McDonald threw it a little early before Newsom made his break, and Dwight Hicks on the coverage was doing a good job.
Freddie Silva's voice is knocked out for a while. It's declined, of course. Doug Deacon was detected of holding. And as anybody that's watched pro football for a while, if you can detect one play being holding and the other not being holding, you're better than I am.
Doug Deacon, the 14-year veteran, they asked him around here, said, how do you think you'll be remembered when you retire? He says, I don't know how I'll be, but I'll probably be remembered as holding number 73.
McLemore back to take the punt. Cox now has a funny way of dropping it. On a windy day, supposedly, he can control the drop better. But it also gives you about a half a step in which to block it.
Right, watch how low it is when he makes contact.
Snapper is Nicholas. He does not get off a tremendous punt. McLemore at the 46. McLemore breaks a tackle and gets in Cleveland territory to the 47-yard line. The number 2 punt returner in the NFC, and Dana McLemore delivers once again. It's 6-0 San Francisco. On the road again, but San Francisco is an excellent road team, as you people know. They have 2 field goals by Wersching. It's 5:28 left in this first quarter, and they've got the ball in Cleveland territory. It is raining like gangbusters. The fake by Montana on 1st down, across the middle, complete. Looks like to Solomon to the 31-yard line. Freddie Solomon getting his first reception. And it's continuing to come down, not in sheets yet. But as it cools off later this afternoon and the winds come off Lake Erie, it'll be the big chill, all right. 1st and 10, a good pass. Montana to Freddie Solomon. You make a mistake against San Francisco, they bite you. 1st and 10, the ball's on the 30. Montana's changing this play. Now they're in a pro set. The 2 backs moved aside. Straight back. He's got Tyler out, but he's going deep. Number 86 has it at the 10-yard line. John Frank, the rookie, and gets to the 7-yard line.
John Frank, of course, went to school down the road a ways in Columbus at Ohio State. Grew up in the Pittsburgh area and said that he grew up hating the Cleveland Browns. He said this is going to be a charged-up game emotionally for him today because he has never liked the Browns. Well, he got a chance to catch a ball on him here. His longest reception of the year as he ran an out pattern, and Montana had it right on the money.
It's only his 6th catch of the year, and he picked up the audible by the veteran quarterback, which is pretty hard to do when you're down in there as a tight end. Montana is 7 of 8 for 54 yards. And yes, he is a cool one, isn't he? Inside drive play. Wendell Tyler follows the block of Craig, gets to the 5-yard line. Let's go to New York City and an NFL update with Brent Musburger. Brent, you got it.
Brookie, we got one cooking down in the Orange Bowl now. The Eagles have had the ball twice and 2 touchdowns on the unbeaten Dolphins. Jaworski's 2nd touchdown pass. This one goes to Tony Woodruff, 13 yards. It's 14-0 and back to Brookie.
I told you, ever take those Eagles down south and they get that warm weather, you know, they can explode like that. Right here, it's cold, but we've got a tough ball game, and this defensive club for Cleveland so far has really kept the end zone free. Tyler getting outside and is knocked down at the 3-yard line. A saving tackle by Minifield, who's got some bad hamstrings right now anyway.
Good support. It looked like Wendell was going to get around the corner, and Minifield, the cornerback, came up and made a good play.
Check that one out. 13 touchdowns in the NFL. They've given up 4 via the return, but only 9 and 4. That's about as good as you can play defense in this league. They're tested right now. 3rd down and goal from the 3. Montana, play action, being raced, being chased out by Minifield, blitz. The ball is intercepted at the 5-yard line. Out to the 10 goes Chip Banks. The fans love that Cleveland defense, and I don't blame them.
It looked like Montana for a moment may pull another mini miracle here as he rolled around and bought some time and was able to get the ball off. Safety blitz right there by Minifield. Then pressure. Cooper is number 89, and he just doesn't have it. And Chip Banks, number 56, is there with it. And need we say more about the Cleveland defense?
And they still haven't given up a touchdown, and we got 2:42 left in the first. It's 6-0. For you buffs and you historical types, the last 3 times these teams have played, Cleveland's won all 3, including a big loss in '81 when only 3 teams beat San Francisco on their way to the title, the Super Bowl. So this Cleveland team is loaded up on defense, and now the offense must score. It's a 1st and 10 out on the 10-yard line. McDonald is the quarterback. The drive series. This is Boyce Green. Maybe the 9.5 to 10-yard line. Hit hard there by Pillars. 49ers, they don't overpower you, but they do keep banging, and they play great team defense, and they swarm.
Everybody that comes in an offensive team that looks at them, sees that defensive line of the Niners, and they're all right around 245, 250 pounds, and they think they can control them. But they never do. They never really blow them off the line of scrimmage like they think they can.
Schottenheimer would like to change that big stat up there. 25th in rushing, obviously. Last week with 159 by Boyce Green. He tried to do that. But 2nd down and 10. Louis Kelcher is in playing defense. He takes up about 3 positions on the line of scrimmage. Short drop and throw. And off the hands of Duriel Harris. McDonald looked like he had that one on the hands, and Duriel just didn't come up with it.
He did, and he had to throw it between the arms of Kelcher, who got a big push from the middle that time and was right back in his face.
McDonald has been pressured and thrown down 44 times coming in.
McDonald said it, when we talked to him the other day, I said, what is your strong point as a quarterback? He said, well, until this year, it was not throwing interceptions. He said, it's accuracy. If somebody gets open, I can get the ball to him.
A good thrower. Under a lot of pressure, as all quarterbacks are. He's in the shotgun now. He's standing right on the 5. Duriel Harris and Brennan in there. And of course, Ozzie Newsom. McDonald looking to the left-hand side, being chased, steps up, and gets the ball to Ozzie Newsom. Newsom at the 50, knocked out of bounds at the 43 of San Francisco, and the flags are down back at the 28-yard line. Eric Wright chased the big guy and got him out. What a catch and run.
Well, they move Newsom around. Sometimes he'll be in motion. Sometimes he'll line up as a slot back. Sometimes he'll line up as a wide receiver. He's out there now right in the slot about 4 or 5 yards. Right there, he makes a good move, gets away from Hicks. Carlton Williamson, number 27, has him here. He goes by him, and McDonald was very patient and had good touch on that ball to get it over the defender and get it to Newsom. And Cleveland will retain the football, and they will retain that play because the call was against the Niners.
The rookie receiver, Brian Brennan from Boston College, gave him an assist downfield with a pretty good running block. And the crowd comes alive for the offense. 1:39 left in the first quarter. Cleveland in San Francisco territory for the first time. 1st and 10. That misdirection handoff to Green. Boyce Green hit hard by Lott at the 39, and I mean shocked at the 39.
Well, that's one of the reasons they have Ronnie Lott in there. Perhaps the primary reason he's playing safety now is because of injuries. He had ankle, toe, knee in the course of this season. He told me yesterday that he just feels he's still now just 90%, but he does force the run so well that it's good to have him in there at safety. Dwight Hicks, of course, moved out to Ronnie Lott's corner position, and both of them are totally thrilled about it. Lott says, when I get to be 100% again, I want to go back to the corner, and Hicks says, when he gets 100%, I want him back out there.
Ronnie got in on 12 tackles, played the safety a week ago, but he'll hit you no matter where he lines up. 2nd down and 6. McDonald dumping it out the flat, and number 80 can't hang on. Adams. Looked like he might have been checking out the blocking pattern before he made the catch. Ozzie Newsome, with that great catch on the McDonald throw, has passed Paul Warfield, who's sitting right next to us in Arthur Modell's box, and moved into 3rd place on that yardage list. 5.249 for Ozzie Newsome. Ahead of him, Gary Collins. Boy, there's a great receiver. Could he run the post pattern? And Ray Renfro, who got a lot of that over me. Ozzie Newsome out of Alabama, one of the great receivers in really going to be in the NFL history before he sees it. McDonald back on 3rd down and 6. The flags are down. Is the clock gone?
I think so.
It is continuing to rain. Not enough to where you're going to see a lot of mud, but enough to where the ball can get slick.
Offense, 75. Ball start.
Freddie Silva has gotten his microphone fixed, and I'm sorry to say that that is true. False start again. 52 seconds left in the first. Cleveland having trouble getting an offense started, but under Schottenheimer, they're going to try to run it when they can. They got 3rd and 11 now. Back on the 44. Shotgun. McDonald, good throw. A diving catch short of the 1st down by Adams. About the 34, but I don't believe he's near the sticks. They're going to have to go for it now. Would you go for it, Wayne?
Well, the fans want him to, that's for sure. I think I might take a chance on it with their defense. With a good Cleveland defense, I think you can go for it.
And Barr's had a little trouble with that middle distance field goal anyway.
Right, and I think they're going to. They're bringing a couple more tight ends into the game, and Johnny Davis, their specialty back, who used to play for the 49ers, played for him in the Super Bowl year. Number 38 is in there, and he's usually the lead blocker in the backfield.
He's like a guard, isn't it?
McDonald doesn't have a play or something right now.
The clock's continuing to run. They may not get the play off in this first quarter. A timeout's going to be burned.
Right.
The clock is still running, however.
Well, it's going to be the end of the quarter, Brookie, so they were just waiting for that to go down.
Better than make a mistake on 4th and a yard, because the crowd right now is behind the Browns. But sometimes they get way behind you if you fail. It's 6-0 San Francisco.
Ever noticed how much Ford LTD owners like their cars? A survey shows no other American-built car in its class has more completely satisfied owners than Ford LTD. So if you want satisfaction, ask the people who bought LTDs. Or ask the man in California who has over 700. He's easy to find. Just look for his driveway. Have you driven the best-built American cars? Have you driven a Ford lately?
This camping trip was a good idea. Yeah, it sure is relaxing.
Peaceful.
Groovy.
Ooh, kind of dark, though.
Man, I'm getting thirsty.
Yeah, let's have another light beer from Miller.
Lights, less filling! Less filling! Less filling! Less filling!
What was that?
The creature.
What creature?
Well, legend has it that a horrible thing stalked these woods.
Oh, Mickey!
And it comes out when the moon is full.
What does this creature look like?
It walks on two legs, but it isn't human.
It's got big eyes that bulge out and...
It's the creature!
Hey, guys, where you going? Hey, guys, where are the marshmallows?
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
Come on, it's after us! Man, did you see that thing? Suck it!
Is sponsored by Light Beer from Miller. Everything you've always wanted in a beer, and less. Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? And by the American Express card. Don't leave home without it.
You're looking at the old ballpark that was put together here in 1931. They tried to get the Olympic Games that L.A. got in 34, and it's been a great place for football. We've got 4th and a yard on the 34 of San Francisco. 2 big backs in there, and it's play-action pass. Donald going and underthrowing Ozzie Newsom, who was sticking out to the side. Ronnie Lott had him closely covered. Let's go to NFL now and get an update with Brent Musburger.
Rookie John Riggins, who's not playing because of an injury, so Joe Theismann's gone to the air. Calvin Muhammad makes a sensational catch here. He later threw to Jeff Moore. Now they have run in, and they lead Detroit 14-0. Let's go back to Brookie.
14-0. Battles rage on all fronts today. Here, do you think that ball was just slipped out of his hand?
Looked like it was. Huh? Either that or the fact that he thought perhaps Newsom was going to run a turn, but I think they were going for the 6, and it was just a bad throw.
The ball was thrown away from Newsom, who didn't have much on Ronnie Lott, but he might have had a half a step, but he's about 6'4". 1st and 10 handoff. Wendell Tyler gets to the 40-yard line, or approximately there, before Hanford Dixon sticks him. This is a good-looking young Cleveland secondary, but they're young. Once in a while, they might take the play-action fakes. We'll see later on. Remember, coming up next, the Dallas Cowboys meet the high-flying St. Louis Cardinals in an NFC East shootout that will help get that logjam out of the Eastern Division, or the born-again monsters of the Midway Bears from Chicago take on the Rams. They're in a battle in that for a 6-4 wild card spot. Dallas and St. Louis are the Bears and the Rams next on CBS. The flags are down. Early seconds of the second quarter here at Cleveland Stadium.
Offense, number 67. Ball start.
Fred Silva now, as Billy Shields, getting his first start of the year, comes up quickly and too quickly at left tackle.
Big number 67 there was an insurance move by the 49ers because Bubba Paris, the young left tackle, had some knee problems, and they were concerned that he might not be able to go the whole season, and that's why Shields is in there today.
Bubba now has both knees that are a little bit tender, doesn't he?
Right.
Shields is in there. It's 2nd down now. And 9. Montana dumps it over to Tyler. Tyler is hit, grabbed and snatched around by the linebackers, and then just engulfed. Clay Matthews got him first. Man, they can inhale you when you get into that linebacking core.
Clay Matthews, the right side linebacker. 7 sacks so far this season.
They've got some class items there. 3 number 1s, as we told you. Clay Matthews, his father, played with the old 49ers with Tittle and Leo Nomalini in that group back in the 50s, didn't he?
And his brother Bruce plays for Houston.
A football family, the Matthews. It's 3rd down and 3 on the 41. Play action. Montana throwing for Cooper and overthrowing him at the 43-yard line. That's 2 that have hit Cooper's hands and gone off.
Yeah, that ball was right there.
Again, it's a little colder than it looks, and it is, while the rain has let up somewhat, it's just enough to get a little bit of a glaze on your hands.
That's right. Coop's not wearing the gloves, as you saw. He's going bare skin. He might have to make an adjustment.
Runinger's first punt. A low driver against the breeze that's going to give Cleveland pretty good field position at their own 34-yard line. Wow, 2 good defenses going here. Maybe the Cleveland offense is getting ready to warm up.
In my baseball career, I was traded 9 times. But wherever I went, one thing was always the same. Everyone drank light beer from Miller. In Boston, they said the best thing about light was it's got a third less calories than their regular beer. In L.A., they said the best thing was light's less filling. But I think the best thing is it tastes great, right here in New York City.
Ken, this isn't New York.
Chicago.
No.
Milwaukee. Kansas City?
Light beer from Miller.
Omaha?
Everything you always wanted in a beer,
Spokane.
and less.
Utica?
There's a former player, Pete Lisk, quarterback with the Eagles and the Broncos, and now has gone to the wrong side of life. He's a back judge. He's a zebra.
You don't see many players want to be officials, and I think that's because they know how much abuse they take out
right
on the field.
He's a good one, though, and he's moving up. They test him, and they have to do reports and go over films almost as difficult as the players have to get ready for a game. 1st and 10 now. McDonald handoff to Green. Boyce Green gets a hole this time out to the 39-yard line. Very short. He's 5'11", but he's 215 pounds. Some other scores. New Orleans 10-0 over Atlanta now. That's in the 2nd period. Atlanta's offense has gone south. Philadelphia, with those 2 touchdowns that Brent showed you, 14-0 over Miami. Marino's not yet on the board. Buffalo 7, New England 0. Still looking for that first win of the year, the Bills, and we hope they get it soon. Cincinnati with a field goal lead over Pittsburgh. Bengals still think they can get close in this division. Inside handoff. Green over the 40, not by much. Good defense. Ronnie Lott coming up from safety, played it like a linebacker.
Hacksaw Reynolds in there. Keena Turner also. Boyce Green last week 156 yards on 29 carries. As we take a peek there at Ronnie Lott.
Is he the best tackling secondary man that you've seen for a while?
I'll tell you, he's the hardest hitting defensive back I've seen. Remember that hit he made on Riggs from Atlanta in a game we did earlier this year? I think still is the best hit I've seen all season in the league.
Yeah, and he doesn't lay back. If he misses somebody, he hits them just as hard with his next attempt. It's 3rd down and 3 on the 42. Motion man is Newsom. McDonald gets it. 5 for Green. It's intercepted by Keena Turner. Keena Turner gets it to the Cleveland 26-yard line. It bounced off Green's hands and into number 58.
Second time it's happened this game. Once to the Niners when Earl Cooper deflected one off his hands into the hands of Chip Banks, the Cleveland linebacker. Same situation here. Straight drop back. Number 30, Green, out of the backfield. And we've had 5 or 6 balls that they should have been caught and put away, and most of them on the Cleveland side.
Keena Turner's 2nd interception of the year. 2 fumbles were turned into 2 field goals, and that's all San Francisco's got. The toss back to Craig. Craig being chased laterally and is run out of bounds at the 25. Al Gross. Good defensive play by Cleveland.
Sure was, because Earl Cooper had a pretty good job, a blocking job done on the outside linebacker Clay Matthews.
Boy, we look back over the years at the Cleveland Browns defensive players. Some great ones. Remember Bob Gaines, the big tackle, and Walt Michaels, and Jimmy Houston. This is a new team, and they are bullish, and they are ornery. It's 2nd down and 9 on the 25. Montana out to Craig. Craig inside the 25 to the 20 to the 19-yard line. Bob Golick made the tackle from behind, and he's the nose tackle. "27 turnovers resulting in 76 points for the opponents." Wow. Golick made a heck of a recovery that time. Remember, this team lost 5 consecutive games by a total of 14 points. They played people tough, but they've lost. 3rd down and 4 on the 20. Quick handoff. Craig's going to score. The quick handoff. They caught Cleveland in a nickel defense and busted it loose for a touchdown by the fullback.
Well, just a great call from the 49er sideline.
Only Craig's 3rd touchdown rushing. What a burst.
Quillen and Cross and John Ayers in the middle that time. And Craig was untouched.
They caught Cleveland thinking pass, didn't they?
Sure did.
And Craig has sprinter speed. Number 2 round draft a year ago out of Nebraska. What a selection. Wersching's extra point. It's good. That was a notch on the belt. 3rd and 4 and a touch.
Take a peek at it right here, as good as you're going to see it. And it's just kind of like a draw play. It almost, in a way, Fred Quill in the center sent up like it was going to be a pass, and everybody took their pass rush up there, and then they just took them the way they wanted to go. And Craig took it the way he wanted to go. He took it all the way in the end zone for San Francisco.
It starts with a subtle glance. The enticement of discovering something wondrously new. The Dodge Aries K. Sleek, new styling that will captivate you. Performance that will infatuate you. You always knew Aries for its economy and value. Now you'll love it for its beauty.
AT&T is in paper, trucks, software. How? With a new program called AT&T Opportunity Calling for Business. It can help small business earn $1 credit on these and other name brand products for each $1 spent on AT&T long distance service. That's savings off the best price you can find. Our catalog is coming to your office. Look for it. AT&T Communications. We can help your business in ways you never thought of.
It's Donald Duck's 50th birthday. Join host Dick Van Dyke and your Disney favorites for a fantastic celebration of a legendary American folk hero. Tuesday.
10:56 before halftime, and Mo Wersching's going to be worn out. This is his 4th kickoff, and we're not yet at half. A 20-yard bolt by Craig for a touchdown, and Wersching attempts to kick it off again. It's on the tee and stays. This is Davis at the 15. Davis to the 28-yard line. Ronnie Lott down under and makes a kickoff tackle. A big college football doubleheader next Saturday on CBS Sports. First Big Ten rivals Michigan and Ohio State go at it. That's at 12 o'clock Eastern time. The Buckeyes, of course, if they win, will go to the Rose Bowl. They've got their Heisman Trophy candidate, Keith Byers. I can't wait to see him again. He's a great player. Then SC squares off against UCLA in Pac-10 action. 2 traditional rivalries that are always exciting. A big day of college football on CBS Sports. Ohio State with a shot to go to the Rose Bowl. Got a big boost for Michigan State beating Iowa last week. Here's Royce Green making a little cut to try to get out over the 30-yard line. Ricky Ellison making the stop there. Ricky Ellison is fast becoming one of the super tackling linebackers around.
And Cleveland's got a young guy in there now by the name of Bruce Davis, Brookie, on offense, number 85, who last year when he was playing at college was considered at the Baylor. They're considered a fast collegiate player. When he's in there, they like to quick screen with him. He's right there, number 85, or run a reverse. So we can keep an eye out for that, and I would too if I were the 49ers.
You mean he's faster than Brown with the Rams?
That's what they say. No, he can't be that fast.
McDonald back on play action, going outside. Adams can't hang on the outside. Let's go to New York City now and Britt Musburger for an NFL update.
Brookie, can you stop Pete Johnson on 4th and 1? The Eagles come up against the big running back, and they stuff him, and the Eagles still lead the Dolphins 14-0. Brookie, that's not like Don Shula. He usually kicks the field goal in that situation. Back to Tom.
Boy, trying to get on the board. Can you imagine keeping Pete Johnson out of the end zone? The only other team I ever saw do that are the 49ers that are right here.
A great Super Bowl goal line stand.
Super Bowl 16.
Silverdome.
The Eagles, there may not be any unbeaten teams left after today. A ripple through the league. Shotgun on 3rd down and 8. McDonald's back. He's got a lot of time this time. McDonald throws it over Brennan, who was trying to get open. Newsom had about 5 people around him. There is a flag down on the 27-yard line. It's going to be called, I guess, against Cleveland. Doug Deacon detected once again. It'll bring up a 4th and 8. And Steve Cox with that strange drop, a very low drop. He rides the ball out. Sometimes the hang time is not quite as much as you'd like, but he can root it out of Arkansas. Nicholas is the snapper. And, of course, McLemore, the return man. This is a good kick. McLemore at the 26-yard line. McLemore gets a block. Ooh, now he's wrapped up as bodies fly. The ball is back out to the 35, and a few skirmishes break out. You expect that in weather like this, and this is where you come to play football. If you don't show up.
Dodge, announcer.
Get the team with the lead, 13-0, and the ball. And remember, this offensive line that Montana works behind has protected him the best in the NFC. Only 16 sacks against number 16. That's really a good offensive unit, isn't it?
You bet it is. And it also helps to have a guy that can move around like number 16 can do.
The rain is coming down. Make no mistake. It may look dry to you at home, but it's not. Wendell Tyler breaks a tackle and gets out over to the 42 with Cousineau hanging on.
Tom Cousineau, the inside linebacker, number 50, who leads this team in tackles. Chip Banks, number 56, right there, too. Now, Banks gets in a little bit too deep on the penetration and creates an open alley right there for Wendell Tyler. And Cousineau has to come over and make the stop. Banks did not play it very well. You see him, number 56.
And, of course, Tyler this year running harder, and he said with this off-season training with the weights is a much stronger runner. Craig battling to almost the 45-yard line. Keith Baldwin making some contact.
Arnie Schottenheimer told us the other day that he's really glad that they didn't play the 49ers on artificial turf because he thinks that Roger Craig is one of the good ones. And he said when he comes out of the backfield and catches the ball out in the flat on artificial turf, it scares you to death because one linebacker can't handle him.
Of course, he came in with the leading 49er receiver with 44 catches. And we've already seen him run 20 yards for a touchdown. He can do it all. It's 3rd and less than a yard on the 45. Play action. Montana going for it. He has an open receiver, Solomon. Solomon is hit hard at the 33, but holds on somehow. Rockins hits number 88, and Joe didn't even see the completion.
Solomon put a great move on number 47, Larry Brazil. Check it right here. Solomon be right of the screen. He'll take it towards the corner and then bring it back inside. Sorry you couldn't see the move, but you'll see the result. And he had Brazil, number 47, all turned around.
And Montana had somebody hanging right on his right arm when he fired that one off. Sometimes the quarterback does not see the reception. They only can tell by other people around them and a cheer or a boo or two. 1st and 10 as the 49ers are driving with 7:53 on the clock before half. Billy Shields coming off early. Again, he's in there for the first time as a starter. Paris getting the rest today.
Shields is a 10-year veteran who was a starter and an all-pro for the San Diego Chargers. Got into a contract squabble with them this year. They wanted to send him to Minnesota. He wouldn't go, and finally worked out a deal so he could come to San Francisco as a backup.
That's what they call that San Diego connection that McVay's got. Everybody at San Diego has problems, I guess, because they end up playing for San Francisco if they're good enough. 1st down and 15, out in the flat. Craig, well defense to the 45. Clay Matthews forced him out there. Good, smart defensive play. I was impressed with young Matthews when we were sitting and talking with him. He's a no-nonsense type. Made a good play on number 33, you see right there.
Not easy to do, and it puts a lot of pressure on outside linebackers when you have to be out in the flat with those guys one-on-one, and they've got a couple ways to go on.
Golick and Cousineau, of course, 2 starters there, came from right in this area. They used to wrestle each other in high school wrestling matches. Now they play together. 1st down and 12. Montana with a lot of time. Oh, good catch. The flags are down. Earl Cooper made a good catch this time. They'll spot it maybe at the 26, but there is a flag down. Holding San Francisco.
Bill Walsh right there. He said that But he stressed the importance to his team to have a good game here, because there have been some times this season, particularly with teams in this division, with Cincinnati and Houston, that his team hasn't played very well against. They haven't dominated the teams that he feels they should dominate. So all week long, he stressed the importance to him to have a good game here.
Keith Farnhorst was detected, the big all-pro right tackle. Remember, this is the same offensive line that started the Super Bowl 16, except for, of course, Bubba Paris wasn't there, and Audick used to be the starter, and he's been traded away. So this bunch is intact, and they're good. Right now, it's 2nd down and 22, however. The second draw, it's a lead draw to Tyler, stopped at the 45. Chip Banks making a good tackle.
Banks back there with an arm, and then Eddie Johnson, number 51, with the closer on that one. Tom, you mentioned the offensive line of the 49ers and the fact that Montana has been sacked second to the fewest times in the NFL. Part of the reason is that the 49ers pick up their men much earlier than most teams. Most teams will take a step back or two on pass protection and block. The 49ers like to get them early.
Good idea. Then your quarterback has a little buffer space there between the bad people and the good people. Montana back on 3rd down and 21. This is to Craig. Spins up the middle, gets to probably the 27-yard line. Short of the 1st down, but back into field goal range. Man, he is fast for a fella that runs hard.
There was a hurdler in his earlier days, Roger Craig, and his hero was Ronaldo Nehemiah.
That's a good one to look up to.
Yeah.
Or down the track at. Wersching's kick will be from the 35 and a half, so it's a 45 and a half yard field goal. If Montana's hold is down, Wersching, good looking kick. Oh, hit the left upright and bounced away. But wait, there is a flag down. Cleveland was offsides. Cleveland was offsides. It will make a shorter field goal attempt. Another one by Wersching. He hit the upright. Offsides, Cleveland. The ball hit the upright, bounced away, and Mo Wersching will get another shot.
It's a pretty important sequence right there, too, because with a 13-point lead, Cleveland can go ahead with 2 touchdowns in this ball game. The 49ers get an extra shot at this if they get 3 points, and then Cleveland will have to score at least 3 times to take the lead.
Now the decision for San Francisco will be whether we gamble on 4th and a long yard and try to get a 1st down, or are we going to kick it? Here comes Tyler and Craig back on. They're going to go for it on 4th down.
Well, I think you can do that when you have that kind of record.
And a 13-0 lead.
Right.
Now the crowd, and it's a large crowd, over 60,000, calling for that Cleveland defense. 49ers are 2 for 2 so far. The toss back to Craig. Craig, when they have the 1st down, is an awfully good tackle. Watkins made the tackle short of the 1st down.
Boy, that's just good team defense.
Craig spun around, didn't get the forward motion that he looked for.
Wait a minute now. Yeah, I think it's going to be short. Cleveland likes it.
The crowd tells you.
I don't know why they had to measure. It kind of fooled me. They were over there measuring because it looked a good foot or 2 short, and it was.
Walsh goes for it on 4th down. San Francisco 13, Cleveland nothing. Ray Schottenheimer buoyed by that good defense. On 4th and a foot, Walsh's team went for it and did not get it. Would you have gone for a field goal with Wersching?
No, I think I would have made that same decision.
The coach did it. Play action pass. McDonald on 1st down. He stays in there and misses Newsom at midfield. He just got it off before Ellison buried the quarterback, but Newsom was open.
Do they look at him enough, number 82? It seems like that's where McDonald wants to go almost every play, and you really can't blame him.
I've seen people try every way possible to double him with a linebacker on his nose and then a safety man inside, outside with 2 safety people, and he beats them all.
Well, he's getting some special attention in this game also because George Seifert, the 49er defensive coach, said with Kellen Winslow out right now with an injury that Newsom is the best tight end in the National Football League.
Seifert said that, huh?
Yep.
See, the thing is, Newsom can slip inside in the slot and beat people in there, too. He's got speed. Second down and 10. McDonald back again. Being rushed, gets it out in the flat to Green. Green is hit hard at the 27-yard line. There is a flag down on the 34. Pushing from the offensive side. Looked like they must have run a pick play downfield with one of the receivers blasting through a defender. Silva's crew has been very active.
They have, but they've been fast about it.
It'll bring up second and a bunch from the 19-yard line. The rain is still coming down. That ball is treacherous. And you certainly don't want to turn it over to this San Francisco team deep in your own territory because they jump on it. Second down and 20. The ball is on the 14-yard line. Shotgun by McDonald. He's got a time. Now the arms come up, but he overthrows Biner at the 35-yard line. Let's go to New York City and an update with Britt Musburger.
Rookie, the Washington Redskins score again. Otis Wansley, his second touchdown of the day. But what's important here is the Redskins lead 21-0, and it means that John Riggins can take the whole day off. That's important for Coach Joe Gibbs. Let's go back to Brookie.
Afraid Detroit might have left their season in that overtime tie with the Eagles a week ago, Wayne.
Well, I think so. They're a lot like Cleveland. They've lost a lot of close ball games.
And their coach is under not only a lot of fire, but extreme heat right now, Monty Clark. It's third down and 20. McDonald still in the shotgun. He's got to be careful now. The nickel is in there. McDonald trying to read it. He dropped and he fumbles the football. And I believe Cleveland maintained possession on the 10-yard line. Doug Deacon fell on it, the big tackle.
Pretty good job downfield, though, by that 49er secondary this time. McDonald with good patience, and he's not throwing that ball. That was just stripped out of there.
I believe Stuckey might have stripped him from behind as that pocket just collapsed around the southpaw quarterback for Cleveland.
Looks like that's who it was, number 79, Jim Stuckey.
Cox back in his end zone. Those fans there are so close they can almost reach out and touch him. Cox with that low release to kick from on the punt. Nicholas, the snapper. Long snapping. The rush was on, but they didn't get it. Cox got off the kick. McLemore at the 47, hit hard and knocked back to midfield. Crowd likes that. There's some Cleveland Brown football.
Biner's down there. Oh, that's the problem with not having anybody back there talking to you when you're a punt returner, not telling you when to fair catch and when not to, because you can catch one like that.
There's a time in life for the young to say, I want something else.
You think they don't play tough football? Watch what Cox has happened to him after the punt.
Yeah, when you throw your punch, keep your guard up, because he's going to get it right here from Ron Ferrari.
That's the punter being drilled by Ferrari. On the far side, Adams, the young receiver for Cleveland, had his shirt torn off. They were all calling for penalties, but it was all done in the name of justice. That's rough football. Special team play, very important. First and 10 now. For San Francisco, they lead 13-0. 4:44 before halftime. All fours. Drilled in the flat. Craig somehow holds on to it. And Eddie Johnson makes a tremendous tackle, number 51.
You could hear the hit, and Eddie Johnson is a fleet inside linebacker, 6'1", 215 pounds from Louisville. Had a chance to play last year when Dick Ambrose, a longtime veteran here with the Browns, was hurt. He's not a good athlete. He long jumped 23 feet, and he can triple jump 45 feet. And there's a guy playing linebacker.
Boy, that's the kind of athlete you want on your squad. Schottenheimer has him here. Wendell Tyler on the sweep to the left. No, loses a half yard. Eddie Johnson again. Fired up Cleveland defense, and the people that have come on really a very cold day here in Ohio, and it's wet, and they love this good defense. You're looking at him as he comes off. You're a warrior on that Brown defense today. You're facing one of the smoothest, most sophisticated offenses that come down the pike in a few years. They're better than they were in '81 in every department, except maybe consistency on defense. That's what Coach Walsh said. Man in motion is Tyler. Montana goes to his third receiver and misses Dwight Clark at the 37-yard line. And he was covered very well by Brazil.
Brazil got a start last week in the Buffalo game when Minifield was out with a hamstring and did a sensational job on coverage. And watch him right here with Dwight Clark. Not an easy thing. This is Clark's situation. Pump and run. Hand in a face mask. Now stay with him. And he's right there. Got a hand on the ball.
Runinger's punt's on the way, and young Brian Brennan takes it at the 7-yard line and then gets out of bounds at about the 12-yard line. But the Cleveland defense has suddenly put some life into this football game. They stopped San Francisco on 4th and a foot, and now they make them turn the ball over with 3:12 left before halftime. This Brennan has speed. He caught Doug Flutie's passes until he graduated and was sent on his way to professional ball. Flag is down now. They're discussing this. Cleveland looks like they have the option. They'll make Runinger kick it from a deeper position. That was quite a boot.
Offense. Ineligible man downfield. Re-kick, 4th down.
One of the great rules that was put in a couple of years ago that has slowed down professional football at times to a gasp. Runinger will now punt from about his own 35-yard line. And young Brennan is now standing at about his own 20.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes, there's one that's going to go on into the end zone. It'll come out to the 20-yard line. And so Cleveland takes advantage of the penalty and has the ball 1st and 10 from the 20 with 3 minutes left before halftime. It's 13-0 San Francisco.
For 1985.
Just to let you know how it is here in Cleveland, 37 degrees, 92% humidity, which makes it pretty damp. 15 miles an hour and a 50% chance of snow, and the chill factor is now down to 19. Not unbearable, not unrealistic. Just makes you want to sort of strap on a uniform and hit a little bit.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't. It's a lie. 1st and 10 on the 20. McDonald's offense stifled most of the afternoon. Drop passes, one of the things, and a good San Francisco pass rush, another. Green for a yard and a half. And the crowd doesn't like it.
Look, you know what was the worst thing about playing on days like this was getting stepped on out there. Especially on a grass field. Now it's a little wet. Everybody's wearing cleats that are a little bit longer than normal. And you'll just be standing in the huddle, and one of your own guys that come, one of those big 260-pound linemen that come up and step right on your foot as they come into the defensive huddle, and you'll be hopping around like a rooster for 10 minutes out there.
I didn't mind the other guy stepping on me, but when your own players would step on you, it really irritated you for some reason. 2nd down and 9 on the 21. 2:22 before halftime. The misdirection play to Boyce Green. Green shelled at the 21.5-yard line, and the crowd again is vocal. Jim Fonhorse up quickly.
Fonhorse stepped right in and made a good hit in the hole that time.
Mike Pruitt, one of the all-time great rushers in Cleveland history, had his knee worked on this past week. Arthroscopically, he will be jogging very soon. He already is a little bit. But right now, San Francisco's got the buckle on him. It's 13-0.
Hey, Eric, I told you it was a left kid.
This is Eric Wright and Keena Turner of the San Francisco 49ers. As United Way volunteers, they've visited many United Way agencies that serve so many people of diverse backgrounds in San Francisco. But perhaps the most unique program was this Tai Chi class for senior citizens at the United Way Community Center.
Tina Turner. We're from the 49ers.
49er? You could join the Tai Chi class.
Being open to any invitation, these 49ers joined right in at this program that serves to keep senior citizens in good physical condition. And when the request was for 2 volunteers to teach some children to fly kites, well, they were on their way.
The guys who volunteer for fly kites.
As United Way volunteers, they've learned that when you give love, it comes back to you many-fold.
United Way, thanks to you, it works for all of us.
This message furnished by the National Football League.
A lot of ghosts running around in this old ballpark. Jimmy Brown and Otto Graham. Guys like Gatsky and Abe Gibron.
One of the great names that I always used to like was Dante Lavelli.
Oh, boy, what a great player, a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Lavelli, McSpeedy, and, of course, Paul Brown before he moved to the other city in Ohio, Cincinnati. Shotgun on 3rd down and 7. The 49ers are good on 3rd down defense. Not this time. There's your little man. There's Bruce Davis.
The mighty right
for a catch for a 1st down out to the 31.
Well, Berge, I think they call him the fastest collegiate player last year because Ron Brown was not playing last year. He was getting ready for the Olympics.
So maybe you were saying he wasn't in college or something. 1st and 10. 1:37 on the clock. One of the few offensive cheers brought up was that one. This is Biner, pulled down at the 37-yard line by Keena Turner, and the flags were down early. Holding Cleveland. If you were going to draft now for the Cleveland Browns, would you be thinking big offensive tackle?
Defense, offside. 68, offense. Holding, offset.
Robert Jackson was holding, and the defense that was offsides, I couldn't quite get it to break up on the microphone there.
Drafting for Cleveland, I would think that they'd like to get a dominating person in the defensive line, and I think they'd like to get perhaps more speed at wide receiver.
You mean Freilich, the Freilich Bowl? Houston can't use any more big linemen.
Yeah.
And Buffalo may not take a tackle. Freilich might be available for Cleveland.
He might go first, though.
That's right. 1st down and 10. They're fumbled by McDonald on the shotgun snap. And he did not recover it. They're battling for it, and I believe San Francisco came up with it on the 25. McDonald almost got wiped out trying to recover his own fumble. Mario Clark made the recovery.
Check it right here out of the shotgun now. As we said, they just put the shotgun into their offense a couple of weeks ago. McDonald not too familiar with it, trying to peek downfield and look at what's happening with that defensive secondary, and I think he took his eyes off the ball as he was catching it. Watch right here.
A tendency to look downfield too much maybe for that vision. And you know how the 49ers like to strike right before halftime or the end of the game. Montana rolling, finding Solomon on the sideline. They're going to call it no good, but the official said yes. How does Solomon get his feet back in bounds all the time?
Well, he's done that. He's made a couple of sensational catches the last 2 weeks. He made one against the Rams in Anaheim a couple of weeks ago in the back of the end zone. He caught one last week against Cincinnati for the game winner. And watch, he's just sitting right down on the sideline here.
Tremendous control of the lower extremities. He acts just like it's part of the game. What a player, what a gamer he is. He comes to play, particularly in bad weather or something. That's when Freddie Solomon will shine. Montana back on 2nd down and 6. Being chased out. Now throws it to the sideline. Tyler has the football, and he's out of bounds. Wendell just stepped out.
In Montana, amazing, though. I mean, that is just an amazing throw. Going to the left, almost full speed because he had a linebacker right on him. Everyone in the defense team say that that's the thing they worry about most when they lose containment on him and he gets outside and he's improvising. And they say the key to it is that he really never takes the football down. He's ready to throw it at all times. Watch this. Look at, he still got it up there, still got it up there. Floats it out there. It's right on the money.
Keep going
Tyler
forward.
could get him down, but he didn't.
And the reason was Cousineau was breathing right down Wendell Tyler's shoulder pads. 3rd down and 6, a 13-0 lead. But it hasn't been comfortable, not yet. Craig inside the 20 to the 19. It's going to be short of the 1st down from up here at least. Eddie Johnson making about his 6th tackle of the day already.
Interesting decision here now. If it's 4th and short, he didn't go for it one other time. Will he try to get to 3 here?
Cleveland has certainly shown us the defense. They are young and they are nasty and they like to bang people. They've been out there a lot today on the field and have held up very well. Wersching comes on. You see Freddie Solomon and the offensive receivers going off. Montana will hold it at the 27-yard line, a 37-yard attempt. This last attempt hit the right upright. He hooked this one. He hooked it. He missed the upright, and he hooked it dead left.
Brookie, I tell you, it doesn't surprise me because these off-fields are extremely tough on soccer-style kickers. Watch right here at the angle he comes in, and watch when he has to plant that left leg. You see the angle on it, and they just have to be careful, and so careful perhaps that they're not going through there with their normal stroke.
Wersching came in with 7 for 7, hit a couple now, has missed 2, one that did count and one that didn't. And this is the man they call a machine. Cleveland defense has kept this stadium alive, really. And all you have to do is make a big mistake and let them get a touchdown, and the Browns are back in this football game. McDonald on 1st and 10 from the 20. 28 seconds on the clock before half. Boyce Green. 3 or 4. People want to see some 50-yard passes thrown, but very carefully if it's against a team the quality of San Francisco. That'll be the last play of the 1st half. Okay, 13-0. We saw the 49ers take advantage very quickly of the first 2 bobbles.
Well, we did, and it surprised me a little bit that the 49ers came out and threw as much as they did right off the bat. I think that Bill Walsh saw that the weather conditions here were going to deteriorate a little bit, although it stopped raining right now, and if they were going to be able to throw the ball, they wanted to do it early.
2 field goals and a touchdown burst by Craig, and it's 13-0 San Francisco at the half.
Is sponsored by Ram Tough Trucks and revolutionary new cars, Dodge and American Revolution. ITT, which believes the best ideas are the ideas that help people. And by Sears, where you'll find great values. There's more for your life at Sears.
The 49ers are driving toward that home field advantage in the NFC playoffs. There it is, shutting out the Browns at the end of the half. How about Pittsburgh and Cincinnati? Nasty weather, tough defensive game. Steelers with a 10-point lead at the half. Here's the story of the day. The Eagles leading the Dolphins. It's 14-7, only at the half. Dan Marino's got a lot of time, but I'll tell you, Ron Jaworski went to his favorite target earlier.
The guy you call the Eagles' quick 6. Here he is, Mike Quick on a 19-yard touchdown pass right to the flag.
How about this pass to Tony Woodruff? What are the Eagles trying to do?
Because they want to work inside in the seams on this zone. They hit a quick post here for a touchdown.
Something you do not see, especially this year. Dan Marino back. He's got protection. Mark Clayton breaks free. He's got him, and he drops a sure touchdown pass. Marino couldn't believe it. And then the Dolphins couldn't believe this. 4th and 1 at the goal line, and Pete Johnson is stuffed. Don Shula's said, wait a minute. Things aren't supposed to be going that way. We're 10-0.
Boy, when he wants to come back, he always does it through the air, though, Brent. This time, Marino to Tony Nathan. Touchdown pass number 30.
unbelievable. No other quarterback in the league has even got 20. It's 14-7, a long half to go there. Indianapolis and the Jets, it's pouring over in the Meadowlands. 6-2, the Colts with the lead there. Buffalo and New England, they've gone to the half now. The Patriots have a field goal up 10-7. New Orleans and Atlanta, they are tied in the second quarter. Houston over Kansas City by 4 points in the second quarter. Minnesota and Green Bay, they are tied. Oh, I checked that. The Packers have just gone ahead. And how about this one? The Packers have just added the extra point, and now it is 17-10. Detroit and Washington, the Redskins 21-0 over the Lions. They are in the second quarter of that action. Do you remember now what happened when the Hogs showed up? Some of the fans in RFK Stadium. And Joe Theismann doesn't have Big John Riggins going along, and it's Muhammad with a great catch.
Well, I tell you, he has great speed and it stretches any defensive club. But this time, Theismann goes back again, but he works out of his backfield. Number 30, Jeff Moore, he goes in for a 7-yard touchdown pass.
And Big John Riggins now, with that huge lead, will be able to take the rest of the afternoon off. Otis Wansley has scored twice for the Redskins. There's his second touchdown today, and so Riggins is going to get a much-deserved rest. Last week, do you remember the game between Miami and the Jets? The Jets were ahead. They were in the third quarter. Dan Marino was set back in the shotgun. He wanted Nat Moore. He had him. Now, Nat Moore, up in the air, gets spun around like a helicopter, and I asked him in practice how he held on.
And once I got in the air, I knew I had the first guy beat where I would land softly, and then in comes another defensive back, and he just hit me, and I started spinning. And the whole time I was spinning, the only thing I could remember to do was to tuck my chin on my chest so that regardless of how I land, I wouldn't land on my neck and hold on to the football. I didn't want to lose the football again.
And we'll continue right after these messages from your local stations.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Cleveland Stadium, where it's 13-0 San Francisco. I'm Tom Brookshire, the spy who came in from the cold. Next to me, Wayne Walker. Wayne, first two things out of the, you fumble the opening kickoff, Wersching gets bang a field goal. Then you fumble the first snap, another Wersching field goal, then the touchdown burst. Is this game over?
No, I don't think it is at all. This is the kind of game we expected, though, a low scoring when you get into a situation like this with a bad field, bad turf, and the wind and the rain and things like that. Here's the only 49er touchdown. It made it 13-0. They were in a nickel defense, Cleveland was, expecting to pass. And look at that, no one up the middle. Blocks by Ayers and Quill in the center and Randy Cross and Roger Craig untouched into the end zone. So, no, you know, I don't think the game's over with. You've been around long enough, Tom, as I have to know that in a situation like this, when the field's like this and this kind of elements, the game is usually decided by a big defensive play. If one of these two teams are going to pick up a fumble and run it in or intercept your pass and run it back, and that's going to be the difference.
And you know, the thing is, I keep underestimating the San Francisco defense. They just don't make many mistakes, and they do come all over you, don't they?
Well, you know, we've lauded the Cleveland defense a lot today, and well, it should be because they've had the most pressure on them, but there's still a 0 on the board for Cleveland, so San Francisco's doing something.
All right, here's some of the halftime stats now. We'll look at them, and again, sometimes they mean things, and sometimes they don't. You can see, though, they haven't given up much. The Cleveland side over there, they've got 22 yards rushing and 89 passing total.
Yeah, turnovers is the difference in this game right here. You see 4 for Cleveland, 1 for San Francisco. That's 15 on the year for the 49ers, and Montana's only thrown 7 interceptions all season. 4 of them came in last week's game, so he's got a clean board today.
Okay, it's going to get colder, so we're going to play tough defense up here in the booth, too. The 49ers are coming back out. It's 13-0 Cleveland, San Francisco.
Well, moms and dads the world around give their kids the same old sound. Got to go to school, be a big success. They wouldn't settle for anything less. Now they've learned whatever you seek, you'll help yourself to reach your peak. In the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. Need a trade? Looking for a skill? They have hundreds to fit the bill. In the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. Want more school? Don't have them bread. They'll help pay to get you ahead. Talking Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. Mom and Dad, they'll want to shout. He's made it big. There's no doubt. Thanks, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. It's a great place to start.
AT&T is in paper, trucks, software. How? With a new program called AT&T Opportunity Calling for Business. It can help small business earn $1 credit on these and other name brand products for each $1 spent on AT&T long-distance service. That's savings off the best price you can find. Our catalog is coming to your office. Look for it. AT&T Communications. We can help your business in ways you never thought of.
Okay, you guys go along. Lenny, feet at the Pinto, button up at the Subaru, and I'll hit you with a bullet. You got it? You got it. Yeah! Hike. Watch him! 2 Mississippi. Where you going? Over there.
The new Subaru sedan is so much larger and more luxurious,
You probably won't recognize it, but don't let its good looks fool you.
It's Tanner on an off day, 14 of 19 for 109 yards. Control, and poise. What a draft choice. Second round draft. How would you like to have a couple of second rounds like him around?
Yeah, that's true. And he's just so careful with it. And when we talked to Marty Schottenheimer about the San Francisco offense, he said that Montana's been around Bill Walsh and in this offense so long that he knows now where everyone is on the field. He knows who's supposed to be open and where they're supposed to be.
Remember what you said the other day, too, that he doesn't look too long for the hot receiver before he goes to number 2 or number 3.
Well, that's how he said he avoids interceptions. He doesn't wait too long for the primary receiver to come open before he gets off him and starts looking for other people.
You saw the numbers on Young McDonald, but these are the important numbers. Fumble on the kickoff, fumble on the first play, field goal, interception led to the TD, and, of course, a missed field goal. And San Francisco had a chance to really nail it on Schottenheimer's team when they missed on 4th and a foot deep in Cleveland territory. But the Cleveland defense, I'll tell you one thing, they don't back off. And when the shadows get long, they seem to get bigger. Monroe and Derek Harmon waiting for the kickoff, and Cox is kicking off. He's the young man that kicked a 60-yard field goal this year, and they said it would have been good from 68 yards. Here's his kickoff, which is high and a little bit short. Carl Monroe at the 10. Monroe gets out and gets a good block. Monroe still on his feet. The 40 to the far sidelines into Cleveland territory of the 45-yard line. A good return by Carl Monroe.
Just a great run right here by number 32, Carl Monroe. And as we've mentioned so many times on these telecasts, when we do the 49ers, everyone seems to contribute on this team. Look at this. He's weaving his way through there, getting a block. Cuts it back. And that's good special teams.
He's averaging over 20 yards a return along the 44. Wendell Tyler straight ahead on a straight buck on the handoff. Gets a first down and down to the Cleveland 31.5. And some of the people aren't back with their hot dogs yet.
And I don't think that the Cleveland defense was settled. Watch the surge right here by that white offensive line. That offensive line in white. Look at the push they got off the ball right there. And Wendell Tyler stayed so low, he was through that seam before they knew it.
Did you notice San Francisco came out and started warming up a lot more hurriedly, it looked like, than the Cleveland Browns, even though they were up by 13 points. The misdirection play, Craig a little late getting there and gets hit hard at the 31-yard line by Eddie Johnson.
Johnson and Cousineau in on the hit. Here's Tom Cousineau in his 3rd year now out of Ohio State. He played a couple years in Canada. He was a #1 draft choice, number 50 of Buffalo. When he came back down from Canada, Cleveland traded for him. Look at him play off the block by Earl Cooper, and with Johnson get in on the hit.
They said he's the best defensive player in Canada in over 10 years, a decade up there. What a reputation to leave behind you. Straight handoff. Wendell Tyler. Tyler looks like enough for a first down to about the 22. Cousineau and Gross teaming up to stop number 26. They're those #1 choices we told you. Matthews first, then Cousineau, and of course Banks, a massive linebacker that's playing so well and learning, and Johnson, the 7th round choice out of Louisville, is playing the outside as well as anybody.
Well, I was saying that he might be having the best day of all 4 of them right now, Eddie Johnson.
It's going to be short of the first down by about a yard. 3rd and 1. The short yardage offense is in there. A timeout is being burned by San Francisco as Montana wants to get something straight. There's Kavanaugh on the left there in the parka with the baseball cap on. That's, of course, Bill Walsh standing straight away talking to the quarterback. Don't forget, the next week on the NFL, it all starts with the NFL Today at 12:30 Eastern and Pacific time. Then those of you in the West Coast will see the 49ers take on Tampa Bay. Those of you in the Mountain Time Zone will see AFC Western Division leaders, the Broncos, against the Minnesota Vikings. The St. Louis Cardinals will air it out against the Giants in that NFC East scramble, or the Packers will meet the Rams, who are battling 4 other 6-4 teams for a wild card spot. That's incredible. That's also NFL football next Sunday here on CBS. We will be in the city by the bay to watch the Buccaneers come in to play San Francisco. Right now, Cleveland's got their hands full. 3rd down and 1. They missed on 4th and less than this earlier in the game, the 2nd quarter. Straight handoff. Craig didn't get much, but he got to the 20-yard line. Forward surge. Billy Shields has been in at left tackle. Paris's knees are bothering him.
That's exactly where they went, over the left side. John Ayers, the left guard, and big Billy Shields over there, cleared the way, straight ahead blocking, nothing fancy. And just enough for the 1st down. Craig now 8 carries for 41 yards, and Wendell Tyler 10 for 43 in the San Francisco offense.
A big one, 1st and 10 now on the 21-yard line. We're in the opening moments of the 3rd quarter. San Francisco is off and running. Fumbled by Wendell Tyler and recovered at the 7-yard line. A scramble there. Wendell just lost the handle on that one. Cousineau stripped him. No, Cousineau came up with the ball. Chip Banks stripped him.
I think you're right. I think it was Banks, number 56, who long-armed him and got the ball out of there.
Ball went forward. It was about a 12-yard forward fumble.
Really looked like the 49ers had something going here. Off-tackle misdirection play, and Wendell kind of improvising here. Watch Banks, number 56, spike that ball out of there. That was an intended spike by Banks as he came around from behind. And one of the few guys in the league can do. Watch number 56. He's about 6'4", 6'5". See him swing that arm around and punch that ball out.
Biggest set of shoulder pads in Cleveland Brown history, and Banks has them on. And Cleveland has the football.
And that's not all, gentlemen. It was Leo who coined the phrase, the more you pack, the more you sell. When Leo said that he would be there by 9, he would be there by 8. Leo even discovered markets we didn't even know existed. Gentlemen, I give you Leo.
The new Subaru wagon is larger, more powerful, and one wagon that really gets you places. Subaru, inexpensive and built to stay that way.
Being there. That's what being a State Farm agent is all about.
When Scott and Vicki started to outgrow their insurance, we got together and reviewed it all. The new house, a second car, life and health coverages too. A State Farm family insurance checkup can be a big help. It's free, and it's there because things change. And like a good neighbor... Right, Jason? Yeah! State Farm is there!
Former linebacker Marty Schottenheimer, the head coach of the Cleveland Browns, happy with that turnover. Remember, this defense is facing Bill Walsh's team, has only been given up an average of 253 yards, total yards, a game. This Cleveland bunch, they are tough on D. McDonald with the ball deep in his own territory. The ball is on the 6-yard line, 1st and 10. The lone back is Boyce Green. He gets the handoff and gets a wedge out over the 10-yard line. Good hole off the left side that time. Pillar's making the stop, and Ronnie Lott. The wind is gusting. The ball is going to leave the quarterback's hand now and maybe get off course.
Everybody keeping an eye out that's up in those stands. I guarantee you over Lake Erie, they're waiting for that big chill to blow in from Detroit.
That flag is moving briskly up there. And the goalposts are even swaying as the winds of Lake Erie come on. Green running into a lot of trouble at the 13-yard line. Keena Turner was first.
You know, Tom, when we talked to Marty Schottenheimer the other day, he said that he wanted to credit Sam Rutigliano and Art Modell for bringing a lot of quality people in and on this ball club because they have continued to try. And he said there's nothing worse, and it is the truth, to lose a lot of games like they have by very few points. Those are just confidence killers. And he said these guys have practiced hard, worked out hard, and as you mentioned before in this telecast, they're just 1 or 2 guys away with that defense of theirs from being a factor, especially in the division they're in.
Remember, Schottenheimer's first game was the New Orleans game, and they lost it at the buzzer with a 53-yard field goal.
Right.
Fumble. Green fumbled the ball. He took a pass from McDonald and then coughed it up. There's a flag on the field. Buns caused the fumble.
I think they'll pick the flags up because I think it was holding on Cleveland.
McDonald made a good read and dropped it to his tailback.
Oh, 57.
Offense, holding, replay, third down.
I think he called 57 offsides, if I read his lips correctly, on the 49ers, so it was offsetting penalties.
Offsetting penalties benefits the Cleveland Browns. Boyce Green coughing up. Fumble. But it's no good. They'll play it again. So it will be 3rd and 3.
Well, we mentioned at halftime that games like this are usually decided by a defense fumble recovery, running back for a touchdown. We've had 2 fumbles already here.
And the 49ers can ill afford to let the Browns get off and get a march going and get out of this hole they're in right now. Large play, 3rd down and 3, 10:42 left in this 3rd period. Shotgun, McDonald back in the formation he doesn't particularly like all the time. Adams can't hang on at the 23-yard line.
Can't throw it much better than that. That ball was there. He's had several dropped on him today.
And if McDonald hadn't have thrown it out in front, that ball would have been intercepted. The linebackers had gotten perfect drops.
McDonald, as you look at him right there, said the only thing that he feels he really has to improve on is moving around a little bit in the pocket. He says, I'll never be a Montana, but I need to move a little bit and be just a little bit more active back there.
He said, some people say that I run like I'm in wet cement, which I thought was rather a descriptive phrase. I wish I'd have come up with it. Cox is back in the end zone. About 1.5 yards deep. Will the 49ers come and try to block it? Wind is blowing. It's really coming off the lake now. It'll be to his back. Well, that ball doesn't go like it's got a tailwind. Into San Francisco territory. McLemore watches it. San Francisco had the ball at the 47. The crowd humming just a little bit, figuring they had gotten a reprieve when the fumble was not counted. Still 13-0, San Francisco.
Welcome to Miller Time.
Miller Time begins here, where Miller High Life waits for the finest ingredients to reach their golden best. Then we go beyond ingredients and use the finest brewing skills, making sure Miller High Life contains no additives and no preservatives. So come your Miller time, you get nothing but the fresh, smooth taste of just pure beer. Welcome to Miller High Life.
Welcome to Miller Time.
Some make greatness look simple, like the great Gretzky and Canon's new vision of photography, the inspiring T70. With the pure agility, the complete versatility of touch button control and 3 distinct program modes. Now, Canon makes it simple to handle any shot. The inspiring Canon T70.
It makes the great shot simple.
San Francisco with the ball on a 13-0 lead. 10:25 left in the 3rd. I'll tell you, this Cleveland defense, they've been out there most of the day and still playing hard. Craig into Cleveland territory to the 47-yard line. Hanford-Dixon stopping him there. Scores elsewhere. Washington shutting out the Detroit Lions. 21-0. They're not in the 4th yet. Green Bay and Minnesota. Boy, there's a duel. 17-10. Forrest has that team turned around now. Look at this one. Philadelphia 17-7 in the 3rd quarter. Eagles play the nickel. Here it's 2nd down and 5 at the 48, let's call it. That's where they play the toss back to Craig. Power running Craig, covering up the ball with both arms, gets to the 45 and the flags are down. At least 5 Cleveland Browns made contact with Craig. Holding San Francisco, the preliminary call by Silva.
Offense, number 88, holding. Still 2nd down.
Freddie Solomon.
Yeah, Solomon came in motion, came down, and was trying to block on the cornerback Minifield, and used his hands a little bit on it.
I can't believe that. those guys don't have many chances anymore to get even. You know, the old days, Tommy McDonald or somebody could do a crackback on you linebackers, but that's against the rules anymore, isn't it?
Thank goodness.
Second down and 13. Ball is back on the 42-yard line. It's dumped over to Craig. Back into Cleveland territory to the 45, short of the first down. Let's go to New York City now on an NFL update with Brent Musburger.
Rookie, now the Eagles have gone to their reliable field goal specialist. Paul McFadden is 20 of 23 after this one, and the Eagles build that lead on the Dolphins right now. It is 17-7, still Philly. Let's go back to Brookie.
McFadden, the young man that we saw a week ago, kicked 3 big field goals, 2 of them over 50 yards against Detroit. I saw him after the ball game, and he still didn't look like he had much blood in his body. He's a little bitty guy. Here it's third down and 3. 9 minutes left in the third. A lot of time for Cleveland if they can stop San Francisco. Play action. Montana drills it right through people and somehow gets it to Craig. I don't know how he threw it by the Cleveland Brown rushers, but he did.
Watch this now. Wendell Tyler will come out of the backfield one way. See number 26 going through. They fake to Craig. Now watch Craig. When there's no blitz coming, he filters out to the left. So Montana's got everybody out and knows exactly where they are. And that's what Marty Schottenheimer was talking about.
Brown's on both sides of that, and he had a clean little alley that he zipped it. He's not given credit for the strong arm, but I'll tell you, he's got a quick release and a strong arm. 1st and 10 on the Cleveland 40. Inside handoff, Tyler. Diving to the 36-yard line.
We saw Roger Craig go off. He went off with 8 catches so far in this game. That's a career high for him. He had a couple of games back earlier in the year where he caught 7 in each game. But career high today, 8 catches for number 33.
Wendell Tyler has been averaging over 90 yards rushing per game. I don't think he's gotten that much against Cleveland. We'll check on the stats. He did have 1 fumble. Craig had the 20-yard dash for the touch. Ring was out in the flat. Montana dumps it across the middle. Tyler fighting for yardage and stopped hard at the 34-yard line of Cleveland.
Cleveland defense will bend your back, won't they? Wow.
Other scores as we're in our 11th week of action. Washington now 28-0 over Detroit. Atlanta and New Orleans all tied 10-10. Buffalo and New England 10-10. 6-5, and I wonder who's pitching in the 7th inning. That is a football score in the 3rd quarter. Indianapolis over the Jets. Here it's 13-0 San Francisco, but it has not been that one-sided, not the physical aspects. Montana unloads it in the flat. Clark has inside the 30 to the 25-yard line.
And amazing how he kind of three-quartered that one out there. Watch him look deep right away here for Earl Cooper coming out of the tight end spot, running a post pattern. See Montana downfield to him. He's not there. Watch him just come kind of three-quarter sidearm here over to Dwight Clark. Knows exactly where he is.
Clark is some target too, and as you've said before many times, Montana seems to know where all of his people are, including his offensive protection, the blockers. I don't think those offensive linemen don't appreciate that quarterback that understands. First down, play action pass. Montana's going for it, and the ball sailed on him. It just took off and soared toward the lake.
That's a good call, and you get a lot of that in Candlestick and several other stadiums around the country. Shea Stadium in New York, the wind gusts and blows, and right here at Cleveland Stadium off Lake Erie, it happens here also. And watch Montana after he releases. Stayed in there pretty good and took that shot.
Clay Matthews. Montana's 19 of 25 for 144 yards and the 1 interception that bounced off hands, by the way. Second down and 10 on the 25. It seems like the Browns have been backed up like this the whole game. Inside handoff. Tyler gets away. Close to the first down. Wendell Tyler, a lot of it on his own. Dip to the outside. Cousineau and company stacking Wendell Tyler up. Wendell's talking to that defense a lot. unabridged, we can't bring you some of those conversations on the line of scrimmage. .6:09 left in the third period. A game that is not out of reach. San Francisco cannot think about the plane trip yet. Tyler with 58 yards on 13 carries, and he's earned every yard. Third, a yard and a half. Montana keeping the ball. No handoff or fumble possibility. He didn't get much. Golick. The linebackers were all in the seams. I'm telling you, that's a belligerent bunch of Browns right there. First down by inches.
When in doubt, go with your power. And he had plenty.
Golick told us that Quillen's not only one of the great offensive linemen, but that he has a reverse block.
A tricky one.
Yeah, that tricks you. You don't look for it, and all of a sudden he does a reverse body block on you. Inside drive. Wendell Tyler gets a block on the outside. Tyler inside the 5 with a 2-yard line. Matthews sort of hanging on, or was that Rockins?
Well, they had everybody blocked on the right side of the line that time. Watch it here. Watch Roger Craig, 33, the lead blocker. Randy Cross, look at, he came down and made that play go. There was a blitz inside, and Craig adjusted to it and got the block, and that got Tyler outside.
The 49ers, one of the few teams still going with 2 backs. This one runs it a lot, while Craig was catching it a lot. Tremendous football player, the former UCLA All-American. Over 5,000 yards rushing. First and goal. Craig outside. Craig's going to score his second touchdown rushing of the day. It wasn't easy, and the Browns battle in the trenches like you wouldn't believe, but the 49ers just keep biting away.
Kind of turned about his fair play. Watch number 30, Bill Ring. Craig got a block before. Watch the block that Ring gets out in front of him. John Ayers on the pull, number 68, and he really doesn't have anybody to block because Craig's in the end zone.
Montana will hold. Wersching will try the extra point. It's down, and it's good. 20-0. 4:34 left in the third. It's San Francisco.
Let's go home. Hey, Lucy, we're gonna go. Bye.
Daddy!
Please, stop. Nothing is going to ruin this wedding. So if it takes all night, I personally will drive each of you home in my car. My Subaru.
Drive a Subaru with on-demand 4-wheel drive, and don't let the weather spoil a good time.
What?
When you play telephone, if you can't hear everything, that's part of the game. But when you pay for calls, it's no fun. AT&T thinks that every long-distance call should sound as close as next door, and isn't that why you call?
Want to try it too?
Calling anywhere, anytime, long-distance operators over a century of commitment. That's AT&T. The more you hear, the better we sound.
Reach out and touch someone.
Wednesday, Charles is in charge of a wild slumber party, and it's ER's new night. Can the doctors survive his new health kick?
You should see in a leotard.
Oh, I'd rather see you in yours.
Tom Brookshire and Wayne Walker in Cleveland, where each of us played and had our moments, I guess. I always was chasing Jimmy Brown, I think. Don't forget, coming up next, the Dallas Cowboys meet the high-flying St. Louis Cardinals in an AFC East shootout that will help get us out of that Eastern Division logjam, or the born-again monsters of the Midway Chicago Bears take on the Rams, who are in a battle with 4 other teams at 6-4 for the wild card. Dallas and St. Louis are the Bears and the Rams right here on CBS. I was always on the Cleveland Brown highlight film, chasing Jimmy Brown Sunday. Mo Wersching's kickoff. He really drills this one. It's still raining. In fact, it's raining harder than ever. Bruce Davis, the sprinter, at the 7. Davis stretches out to the 28-yard line. Let's go to New York now on an NFL update with Brent Musburger. Brent?
Brookie, it is 3rd and 2 for Dan Marino and the Dolphins, and he goes to old reliable Nat Moore down on the 1. Woody Bennett scores, and now it is 17-14. Eagles lead by 3. Back to Brookie.
The good ones rise to the top, and Marino certainly is one of the great young quarterbacks I've ever seen. What a release. 17-14. Ferrari is down. He's a special teamer of the Pro Bowl category. This year, the Pro Bowl is going to allow a special team player to go, and I think it's about time they finally are represented, don't you?
Yeah, I think so, too. And it's been an inspiration to a lot of guys on special teams this year to get to go that way.
We used to hate to play in the special teams. That meant you had done something wrong. 4:25 left in the 3rd.
Pruitt, I want Schmitzen at that meeting. Snow or no snow?
Noonan, I want Schmitzen at that meeting. Snow or no snow?
Boulder, I want Schmitzen at that meeting. Snow or no snow?
Edelmeyer. You know who to call when you have to get a package there. But what do you do when you have to get a person there? No matter how crazy the weather, you drive a Subaru, or you may get stuck with something else.
Throughout this country, there's one bank that's there when you need it. One bank travels with you and lets you get cash instantly coast to coast through Cirrus. Only one bank helps you move your accounts and banking relationship to more cities than any other bank. Only one bank lets you cash checks at over 1,000 office locations in 14 states. First Interstate Bank, the bank that's there with your money when and where you need your money.
Ron Ferrari, the young man out of Illinois, the great special teams player, was assisted off, and he's been administered to, and he'll have the best possible attention from the medical corps for San Francisco. And a lot of bodies are flying around. I think one of his own men may have rolled into him. 1st and 10 now for McDonald. His 7th completion of the day goes to Biner. The rookie gets out over the 35 and doesn't fumble, is what the crowd was oohing and eyeing about. A couple of stats that might be important as we move along and see what happens in the second half if you try to rush the football against San Francisco.
Well, you can. You think that, well, they've been ahead a lot at the halftime, but against Cincinnati, they were behind, and the Bengals still couldn't run and control that game on them. 20-0. Methodically done. A couple of fumbles turned into field goals. A dash by Craig. In the second half, they've just played bitter football, and Cleveland hasn't backed off an inch. 2nd down and 3 on the 36. Motion man is Newsom. 35. Biner maybe got a yard. I know he got a headache. Ricky Ellison underneath that pile. He's making better and quicker plays every time he plays another game. And Louis Kelcher has seen a little bit more action here in this game than he has in past weeks. You know, the 49ers may have to make a decision coming up. They may get Jeff Stover back, who was injured early in the year, and they'll have to put somebody on the waiver list. Last year they lost Kugler, didn't they? Right. So they've really done a patch-up job, and Dean has never come back from wherever he is. 3rd down, and call it 2. McDonald being chased, now gets away from the blitzing. Gets it to Adams, and Adams has a 1st down out over the 40. McDonald had secondary people going by him on the blitz. Williamson came by and almost tagged the quarterback. Sure did. The numbers on this 3rd quarter, 2.5 minutes. Very few first downs lately by the Cleveland Browns. That was something. That was a special one. 20-0. Bruce Davis, number 85. To the bottom of your screen. It's a 1st and 10. Donald with new interest. Gets it to Newsom, and no, it's almost intercepted. In and out of the hands of Hicks. Looked like for a minute Newsom was going to be open. Yeah, didn't it? Hicks, who we said has moved to cornerback from free safety, almost, I think, baited McDonald on this. He's in such good shape right here, and he wants McDonald to think that Newsom's open and watch him move for the ball. Hicks said, I'm really not comfortable out there playing a cornerback. It's so lonely out there. I feel out of it, unattached, detached.
It's like you've got the measles, I know. Ronnie Lott was coming over from safety, and he wasn't in bad position on the ball either. 2nd down and 10 now. McDonald underthrowing that ball just a bit. Newsom's in motion. Here's the draw play. This is final. The rookie dogged down at the 42-yard line by Buns and Ronnie Lott. Next Sunday on the NFL Today at 12:30 Eastern and Pacific time, you'll see an in-depth feature on sack artist Mark Gastineau of the New York Jets and how this 6'5", 265-pound bruiser, I did not write this, prepares for a game with his special weight training program. Body by Gastineau, that's the quote-unquote show that you will see next Sunday on the NFL Today. He probably eats lychee nuts and stuff like that, you know. Those big ones always do that, you know. All starts with the NFL Today here on CBS. 3rd down and 7 on the 43. Big rush, sack at the 34-yard line. Michael Carter came with the snap.
Looks like he was going across that shot put ring. Number 95 you're looking at is the young man who was the silver medalist in the recent Olympic Games in the shot put. Been playing a lot of nose tackle for the 49ers recently. Had a good game a couple weeks ago against the Rams in Los Angeles, and he took a quick outside move there on the center and was back there before McDonald could even set up.
2 sacks for San Francisco. How much is he weighing in at, by the way, Carter?
Well, he's getting down now. He's about 295 when he first came to camp. He's about 280, 285 now.
The punt by Cox. McLemore dances, gets some trouble at the 30-yard line, but never seems to lose possession or is cool. 20-0 lead with a few seconds left here in the 3rd.
Sat down with Mom, talk to Dad. Can't get it together, makes you feel sad. You know you can do it, you wonder where. You want it soon because you really care. The services can help you so you not only get better, you really grow. Talking Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. They'll take you, train you, show you the way. You'll work hard, get decent pay in the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. Prove you can make it. Prove it to all. Serving your country and walking tall in the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. You've got it together. They'll see in a glance. Thanks to the services, you got the chance in the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. It's a great place to start.
Welcome! They said he couldn't retrieve his own shadow, but you didn't give up on him. Now comes your time. To Miller Time! And Miller Time means it's time for the best beer you can find. Miller High Life. Bring your thirsty self right here. The rich, smooth taste of Miller beer is what you have in mind. Welcome to Miller High Life. Welcome to Miller Time.
Not only the coach, but the president.
Yeah, and he's got something going on in his mind right now. Probably besides this ball game, Fred Dean, his great pass rusher, has been holding out all year long. They'd love to have him. And right now here, somewhere in the Cleveland area, Fred Dean's an attorney for the 49ers and a mediator, are trying to hash it out because they need to get Dean signed this week or he would be ineligible because of a NFL rule if they don't get him signed by, I think it's either Friday or Saturday of this week. So they've been trying to pound that out this weekend, and I know that Bill feels that if he gets Dean back, it's going to help him a lot down the stretch.
He's the president of the ball club and the head coach. And of course, that's an added responsibility. It's also a little bit of leverage for you, but it's both ways. Montana back on 1st down and 2. Chased and sacked back at the 21-yard line. Reggie Camp was the first one to grab the quarterback.
I bet you they're barking out there now. The dogs are barking. They call the defense the dogs, and they bark at each other on the practice field. They bark after a sack. Reggie Camp, who leads this team in sacks, coming from the right side right there on an outside rush. I think it was against Keith Fahnhorst, and that is his 8th sack of the season. It was over Randy Cross, excuse me.
Yeah, they'd switched men on the thing. A good fast rush. And as we've said, this Cleveland bunch, they're young on defense. And, boy, they don't believe in reputations. You got to prove it to them. It's 2nd down and 19 back in the 22. Flags are down. Montana gets the free one, maybe. He hits Solomon at the 41-yard line, who just keeps his feet down. Minifield couldn't keep him from catching it. The flags were down early. The crowd sensing the blitz bunch is back for the Browns. offsides declined, of course. Obviously, they'll take the play, and Montana coolly threw a strike to Freddie Solomon. Watching your pregame show that you do in San Francisco, I'd forgotten that Solomon was such a fine option quarterback when he was down at Tampa in school. He was quite a running back as a quarterback, wasn't he?
Run that option with the best of them. He's so quick.
I'll tell you, his feet, he can get his feet in bounds anywhere in the world on this planet. Third and about a yard, call it. The fake handoff, play action now as Montana moves and throws it back. And Solomon is open at the 40. It's gone. Freddie Solomon is gone. On third and a foot, it's touchdown San Francisco. What a throw by Joe Montana as he was moving in the pocket.
It's the strangest pattern by Solomon. I was watching him all the way that time, I guess because we had implanted my mind to watching because we were just talking about it. He ran what looked like a slant in, went down about 10 yards and then stopped and then kind of drifted back, kind of backpedaled. Montana was moving around back there and finally found him.
The 5th touchdown catch for Freddie Solomon this year. He's been getting himself healthy little by little. He'll be ready for the stretch, won't he? A 60-yarder. The last play of the third quarter.
Solomon 4 catches for 103 yards and that touchdown you just saw.
Montana's hold perfect. Wersching's kick absolutely dead center. And boy, this team can take your best shots and just keep coming back at you. Whatever you do, they have a way of thinking their way around it. Illegal procedure against San Francisco, and they're going to make Wersching kick it again to prove if he can or not. One of our most famous CPAs on the West Coast will never look up, just touch Montana like by braille to make sure the holder was still in there.
Yeah, that's a nervous habit too. He likes that reassurance that Montana's either there or wants to make sure that Montana's still got his shoulder pads on.
From the 15-yard line, that's where it'll be held. Ooh, they've got it inside the bar. And so that was the last play of the third quarter, even though there were nothing but zeros on the board. Freddie Solomon from Joe Montana.
Here's the touchdown pass. Solomon will be down right there, number 88, going across the screen. Montana looking left, and Solomon said, I got to start working, he told me this week, and getting open on the backside. And if I do, I'm pretty sure Joe will find me. That was the backside because Montana wanted to go left. Solomon into the end zone, and Montana now 21 for 27, 220 yards and a touchdown.
And coming off 3 straight days of 300 yards plus, looks like he's heading for another 300-yarder.
Now look, he wants Dwight Clark over here. He's not there. Now Solomon's backpedaling and getting open here. And on the backside, as we talked about, work yourself open, Solomon says, and Joe will eventually find you. That's what happened.
That's the end of the third quarter. The score, San Francisco 27, Cleveland nothing. We now pause for a word from your local station.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Pontiac. Cars built with a feel for the road. Pontiac, we build excitement. Miller High Life, welcome to Miller Time. And by the people of AT&T Communications.
We're in Cleveland, Ohio. It's a great football city. The Detroit, Philadelphia, Cleveland syndrome, Pittsburgh, the blue-collar things. And we were talking to Art Modell before the ball game, and Arthur's been the head of this team for this is 24th season, and only Art Rooney has more longevity at the ownership of an NFL team. And it's always been a pleasure to come here to Cleveland, and not to play because they usually used to beat on me, but it's a first-class operation and a great football city. Miner brought that kickoff back out. Milt McCall tackled him at the 25-yard line. 69 yards, 3 plays. And as Wayne Walker so accurately told you, a crazy-looking 60-yard TD pass to Freddie Solomon from Joe Montana. Why is it the good teams make long plays look so easy that way, huh? The Browns have struggled on offense. They over 60,000 here today. Official attendance showed up on a bad weather day. Back to throw goes to number 31. That was Larry Holt. Let's go to New York City in an update.
All right, Brookie, remember earlier Pete Johnson of the Dolphins was stuffed by the Eagles. This time Johnson stuffs to the outside and gets into the end zone. And for the first time today, Miami leads Philly. It's 21-17. Back to Brookie.
Uh-oh. It looks like the Dolphins are not backing off. A 10-0 team, they won it all. If they get past Philadelphia, each week puts them in a better spot. Their schedule begins to soften up a little bit. San Francisco goes Tampa Bay, then Atlanta, New Orleans. They got some tough ones left. Pass by McDonald, bobbled and dropped at the 31-yard line. Ozzie Newsome trying to hang on there, but closely covered. Looks like Ozzie's limping a little bit.
Got him in tight this time, and Keena Turner does a pretty good job of chucking him, and then can't stay with him too long because he's got to cover back out in the flat. Turns him over to Fahnhorst, and they've got him wrapped up.
Fahnhorst is a better football player than most people thought the young linebacker was going to be.
Well, he surprised the 49er coaches. He plays the pass a lot better than they thought he would.
Of course, Hacksaw Reynolds plays the run and teaches young people how to play it all. Yeah, work ethic, good methods. Third down and 10. Shotgun, and McDonald's had trouble with shotgun. Here comes the blitz. McDonald underthrowing Adams at about the 45-yard line. The pocket held up, but the young quarterback simply underthrew this one. Steve Cox will punt it. Crowd not happy, obviously, with the underthrown pass. McLemore is back on the San Francisco 39. 14:37 left in the ball game. San Francisco on the road and doing very well. Cox has the funny drop. Ooh, this is a great hang time here. Cox kicked the air out of McLemore at the 44-yard line. And the ball must have been up there 5 seconds. San Francisco with the ball. And a 27-0 lead.
Pontiac. When you get a Pontiac Sunbird, you get a car that's practical and easy to own. When you get a Pontiac Sunbird, you get a car that's technically advanced and carefully built. And when you get a Pontiac Sunbird, you can also get a car with 150 turbocharged horsepower. If you're so inclined. Sunbird, only from Pontiac. We build excitement.
Pontiac. I loved everything about buying a new car. The looks, the smell. I loved everything but getting the financing.
Then I found out about GMAC financing. It's so easy, you can do it all right at your GM dealer.
Now I love everything about getting a new car, except choosing which one. Chevy, Pontiac, Oldsmobile, GMC truck, Buick, ooh, Cadillac.
Tell your GM dealer you want GMAC financing.
That's the easy part.
The humidity is still high here in Cleveland. It's rainy. It hasn't come down in sheets. It's just been steady. Don't forget, next, the Dallas Cowboys meet the high-flying St. Louis Cardinals in that NFC East shootout that will get us out of that log jam. Or you might see the born-again monsters of the Midway Chicago Bears take on the Rams. They're in that battle with 4 other teams for a 6-4 wild card spot. And, of course, the Bears are doing it without their quarterback. McMahon is out for a while, seriously hurt. Dallas and St. Louis are the Bears and the Rams coming up next here on CBS. The wind is howling now, and the crowd's howling a little bit. They want to see some points by the offense. Nehemiah is in at the top of the screen. Montana, play action, moving, somehow gets it to Cooper. Cooper inside the 40 to the 36, and I'll tell you, Montana,
he's something.
He did a Veronica in that pass pocket and somehow got time to throw it.
I tell you, every defensive coordinator you talk to, every defensive player now, they're starting to say, here's the best quarterback in the National Football League. Just do so many things, doesn't make mistakes, and they have a tendency to overlook I know the players and people that play against him don't, but you have a tendency to overlook, you know, how much knowledge that he has to digest every week in that offense.
Last play of the game, he beats Cincinnati with a no-chance pass play, didn't he? The back end zone line for Solomon.
That was about the longest 5-yard touchdown pass you've ever seen in your life. Traveled about 40 yards in the air to Solomon.
Number 30 Ring inside the 35. As now the clock, of course, will be allowed to tick. San Francisco is knee-deep in people that are intelligent football players. Everybody said they finesse you and do this, but I'll tell you one thing. They think, and if they have to, they can put the helmet on and get tough, too. Montana back to throw it. He's going down the sideline. Nehemiah dives and catches it at the 11-yard line. Let's see if they call it. Al Gross was there, but that's speed on the outside.
Great speed, as everyone knows. A former world record holder, still the world record holder in the hurdles, and does a good job of getting outside there. Away from the chuck, checking Montana out. Montana going to him right away. It's a short zone and somebody deep, but Montana got it right in between the two.
The 11th catch for Ronaldo Nehemiah. And as we've said, when he warms up, it looks like a 9-200. One of the great track people of all time, and runs a good pattern. 1st and 10. At the 11-yard line, inside, Tyler. About the 3-yard line, hurdling people as he goes.
This is going to be, I'll guarantee you, well, I won't guarantee you because I can't do that because I don't have the headset on over on the sideline, but I would more than imagine the 49ers, no matter what they do on this drive, whether they get 6, whether they get 3, whether they get held out of the end zone, that man right there is going to take number 16, Joe Montana, out of this game after this drive.
You know what I think is interesting, how far they go in making sure the details are right. Did you notice the ball carriers and the quarterbacks' jerseys have a little pocket in them to keep their hands warm if it would get cold back here in Cleveland, which it has got. Tyler down to the 1-yard line off the right side.
Well, it's cold. I mean, it's a Cleveland day. I love what Art Modell told us before the game. He said he's been here 24 years, and he's never found anybody from the French Riviera that comes here to vacation in the winter.
Oh, but football fans, they had 60,092 show up here today, and people around the country right now are taking shots at football, saying it doesn't have popularity and people aren't going, etc., etc. I'll tell you, Cleveland defies that. Because today you could have stayed home and thrown another log on and nobody would have blamed you, and they came out. You can see how close it is, inches, to go for a 1st down without a touchdown. Tyler is now at 80 yards on 16 carries. He just gets his engine humming, doesn't he, about halftime. Bill Walsh won 2 games his first year in '79, and then 6, and then a Super Bowl in '81. Some man there, some football person. 3rd down and inches on the 1. Was Ring straight ahead. Al Gross somehow got in on the tackle from behind, and he's playing the secondary.
I was going to say there are a couple secondary guys in there with pretty good penetration that time. And number 27 come around the corner and get in on that hit right there as Ring ran in basically to his own blockers.
Boy, I wonder how many offensive plays the 49ers have run against this Cleveland defense today. We'll get that for you in just a moment. The Browns have been out there. The play-action pass on 4th and 1, and it's touchdown in the puddle of the back of the end zone. Freddie Solomon's 2nd TD reception.
Almost like last week against Cincinnati. Montana wanted to go somewhere else, and this was not the primary receiver.
4th and a yard, and Montana fired it off.
Check here. Bill Ring gets a block on a blitz that helps Montana out. He wants to go into the corner looking for one of the outside receivers here, but Solomon makes an adjustment again, and Montana on the move puts another hole in Cleveland.
He kept reloading it until somebody finally had to force him on the containment. Wersching's extra point try. Montana takes the snap, puts it down. Ray not taking any chances with this. Scores sometimes look like the 49ers are rolling the score up on people, but they really aren't. They're just playing football. $34-0 San Francisco.
AT&T is in paper, trucks, software. How? With a new program called AT&T Opportunity Calling for Business. It can help small business earn $1 credit on these and other name brand products for each $1 spent on AT&T long distance service. That's savings off the best price you can find. Our catalog is coming to your office. Look for it. AT&T Communications. We can help your business in ways you never thought of.
Monday.
I shot him.
One murder.
I wanted him to die.
Two confessions. What do a mother and daughter have to hide? Cagney and Lacey.
The Cleveland Browns opened this season high and optimistic on their chances in this Central Division of the AFC, and Seattle beat them 33-0 that day. They trail 34-0 right now. This is Biner. Biner, the rookie, being hauled down at the 17-yard line. Coming up next, the Dallas Cowboys will meet the St. Louis Cardinals in that East shootout. Or you might be able to see the Chicago Bears take on the Rams. They're both in a battle for that 6-4 wild card spot. Dallas and St. Louis are the Bears and the Rams. Coming up next here on CBS. Wonder how good St. Louis is. If they beat Dallas twice in the same year, we'll know, won't we? San Francisco has run off 60 offensive plays already, and there's over 10 minutes left in this fourth period. The wind is gusting now. Donald back to throw. Throws a strike. Across the middle to Brennan. Brennan has it to 40. And is finally run out of bounds at the San Francisco 31-yard line by Dwight Hicks. Young Brian Brennan, he's only 5'9", 180-pounder out of Boston College.
Number 4 draft choice, and you mentioned earlier that Boston College and Doug Flutie's target took a check there from Keena Turner. The 49ers in the zone right here. Ronnie Lott deep middle, and Brennan gets underneath him, and he'll eventually get over here where number 22, Dwight Hicks, will have to make the handle on him. Brennan, 114 catches during his career at Boston College. That's a career record for that school.
That was only the 43rd offensive play for the Browns offense. What a play that one was. McDonald back. He's got time. McDonald overthrowing everyone into the end zone, intended for Dwight Walker. That'll sure loosen up the secondary. CBS Sports coverage of college basketball returns in 2 weeks. Saturday, November the 24th, two traditional powers, the Louisville Cardinals and the Indiana Hoosiers. This will be the first time that these two teams, coached by Denny Crum and Bobby Knight, will face each other. College basketball here at the home of the NCAA championship game, CBS Sports. One of my favorite sports is college basketball. Second down and 10. McDonald from the shotgun. He's had his problems for the shotgun. It's snapped over his head back to the 42-yard line. The snap came up like a knuckleball and floated back, and he barely was able to recover it.
Mike Babb is the center, 61, and I've said a couple times this telecast that the shotgun is a new thing for the Browns. I just put it in 2 weeks ago when Schottenheimer took over, and they're not smooth with it yet, as you can see.
Schottenheimer's third game at the helm. He's 1-1 coming into today. The one he lost, as we said, was a 53-yard field goal to Bum Phillips' team at the buzzer. Last week they beat Buffalo. Today they're running into San Francisco. Trolley and all. McDonald's over the line of scrimmage. He's going to throw an illegal pass, knocked away at the 2-yard line. by Dwight Hicks, but I believe that the quarterback was past the line of scrimmage.
Looked like he was straddling it at least.
No flags are on the field.
You know, we mentioned the play before that, as you see McDonald there, Mike Babb, the center, talking about the shotgun. It is a blind snap. He's not looking back there on it. And he said the tough thing about it is you have to make a soft snap. It has to be a soft snap back there. And then you have to get ready to play tough and at the same time play tough on the guy that's right on your nose. So it's kind of double trouble in one side of one coin and then the other side of the other, soft and tough.
4th down, and this is a pretty good gamble, but you got to go with 9:29. 4th and 21 off from the 41. McDonald not in the shotgun this time, going down the middle and in and out of the hands at the 20-yard line of Ozzie Newsome.
Newsome here inside again, no linebacker on him, so he got a good release. Looks like he's going to run a little out pattern and turns it in, and there's lot 42 was right there, and there was another ball that could have and should have been caught.
34-0, 9:23 left in the 4th.
Welcome to Miller time.
At Miller High Life, time is everything. Beer drinkers come to us because we've been brewing in extra quality for the last 129 years. That's a lot of our time. But it's the reason you spend your time with us when you want the best beer you can find. Miller High Life.
Welcome to Miller time.
Pontiac.
The editors of Road and Track call the Pontiac 6000 STE one of the world's 12 best enthusiast cars. Car and Driver call the Pontiac 6000 STE one of the 10 best cars of 1984. So why did we make it even better for 1985? Just because. The sensational 6000. Only from Pontiac.
We build excitement.
Pontiac.
Kavanaugh, number 6, the number 2 quarterback in San Francisco's in. Misdirection play. Wendell Tyler almost loses a handle on it, but gets into Cleveland territory for a 10-yard burst. You could always tell when the reserves were coming in, right? The guy with the clean jersey is the new one.
Good job, good adjustment right there, and a good job blocking up front by young John Frank, the tight end. Got Tyler outside.
2nd down and less than a yard, so Wendell picked up 9.5. He is out now. Derek Harmon is in. Kavanaugh's the quarterback. Crossbuck. Ring. Spins inside for the 1st down to about the 47-yard line. This little guy doesn't get a lot of action, but he's a direct runner, and he's right to the point. It's straight ahead and impact.
Pretty good numbers, and I'll tell you, anytime that you can line number 16 up on your side, you got a chance for a win in any league you want to play in.
Bill Friel just notified me this is the 7th time this year that the 49ers have been over 30 points scored. They do run up the points without just deliberately running them up on people.
They're looking at their 2nd shutout in 3 weeks. They shut out the Rams 33-0 a couple of weeks ago.
Those are the numbers on Kavanaugh, not for today, but for the career. Here's the toss. Ring breaks a tackle. Bill Ring is off inside the 30, being chased and finally caught from behind at the 13-yard line by Minifield.
Well, he popped right through there. You know, when you called Ring for a minute, I looked up and it looked like it was going too fast for Billy Ring. He got a good block from Derek Harmon, a lead block on the linebacker, and really took it up in there.
1st down. Silva's mic is not working. The referee will say this, though, that the Cleveland Brown defense has been on the field a lot for at least almost 70 plays by now. They are tired.
There's the toss. 24 out in front. And he cuts it in, and he's not touched Guy McIntyre. The young rookie guard made a pull and sealed off inside. And Ring is cooking.
He is a load, too. He is short. He is stocky. But He's a quick starter. And as all the 49ers are, he seems to have a place and fits it. 59 yards on 3 carries. A couple of good blocks out in front of him, too. I saw several Cleveland Browns trying to turn away, and whoever was blocking had them pinned. 7:45 left in the game. That's now 34-0 San Francisco. Inside goes Derek Harmon, high-stepping inside the 5-yard line. A lot of the people have started to move out of the stadium, but over 60,000 showed up to see if San Francisco was for real. I'll tell you one thing, they're for real.
Well, they're just so efficient in the games that we've done, Tom, that they've played this year. They just go about their business, and it's really, you look back on it and it's nothing really spectacular or fluky about it. It's just like going to the office and getting it done every time.
They rested Paris today so that those knees will be healthy, and 300-pounders become quite a workhorse. That's Ring scoring the touchdown, cutting back. And as we've said, there's no doubt about it, the Cleveland defense is tired, but Bill Ring isn't. First touchdown of the year.
Billy Shields over here getting a block. Look at McIntyre, 62 on the pull. Harmon leading. McIntyre gets the linebacker Cousineau, uses him up. Ring cuts up inside of it and has 6.
He flew into the end zone. Who is that masked man?
He was the Eshmont Award winner last year for the 49ers. That's given to the most courageous and inspirational ball player on the team, and it was well deserved.
Wersching's extra point attempt is good. San Francisco 41, Cleveland nothing.
Pontiac. It's brand new. It's from Pontiac, and it's called Grand Am. The latest in Pontiac road car technology, Grand Am is a true driver's coupe. That means it's built for drivers who appreciate engineering excellence as well as exciting road machinery. You know who you are. Grand Am, new from Pontiac, only from Pontiac.
We build excitement.
Pontiac.
I hate to wait.
He hates to wait.
Well, you have to wait. So sorry.
Avis knows how frustrating it is to wait for your rental car. That's why we invented the Wizard number, so you can go right from your plane to the Avis bus.
I hate to wait.
We'll get you on your way and into your car fast. We know you hate to wait, so from reservation to return.
I hate to wait.
He hates to wait.
We're trying harder, faster.
I hate to wait. Tonight, the immigrant was her desire. The senator was her future. She wanted them both.
Damn you, Maud, you twist everything.
Faye Dunaway, Richard Burton, Ellis Island.
Marty Schottenheimer's 3rd ball game as the head coach. It's going to be a loss, a big one. He knew he was playing one of the superior teams in all of football. Davis lets it bounce, will touch it down, and Cleveland will have it on the 20-yard line. Remember in '82 when the Browns went to the very limit of the law in finally losing to the then Oakland Raiders?
Pay attention here. I want to explain something.
Yes.
This man here has been in the business for 18 years and came to Cleveland in November without a top coat. Had to borrow one from the Cleveland Browns. Love the color on you, though.
That's right. If I had the shoulder pads on it would fit a lot better, but it kept me warm today. First and 10. The handoff. Takes the handoff, maybe gets 6 or 7. Obviously, the 49ers will be loosening up their defense and allowing things in front of them, not behind them.
Yeah, I forgot a tie last week, and I thought that was bad. You forgot an entire wardrobe here this week.
You mean we did a tie last week?
That's right, we did.
The last game of the season is against the Los Angeles Rams for the 49ers. By that time, that game may not mean anything.
Well, I think you're right. I don't think it will.
McDonald He has been badgered all day. He gets a completion to Davis. The sprinter is hemmed in at the 45.
So they just take these wins and continue to build on them, and what it's going to mean for them is that they're going to have that home field advantage in a playoff game, and when they're going to have the home field advantage in the NFC Championship game, and then if they win that one, they'll have the home area advantage in the Super Bowl, which is in Palo Alto.
But don't forget that coming up next, Dallas against St. Louis. You'll be able to see that Eastern Division shootout. Boy, those Cardinals want those Cowboys for the second straight time. Or the Bears are against the Anaheim Rams in a battle for that 6-4 wild card spot. It's coming up next. Dallas, St. Louis, Chicago, Los Angeles. Some of the crowd is still here. Somebody told us that there were 800 people here for a Cleveland Indian baseball game this year, and the people tried to do a wave from their different positions in this stadium of 80,000.
Well, the stadium is huge, too. This place is cavernous when you look at it.
1931. I've seen this place with, you guys used to play the exhibition doubleheaders, those preseason jobs in the late 60s when Modell had the idea.
Mr. Modell started that. You know, he was also the gentleman who hosted the first Monday night game in NFL history here.
And I'll say this, for every fan that comes here, they all have leather lungs. The 80,000 here could really give you the raspberry. McDonald back now. First and 5, it's knocked away. Almost intercepted. I believe Fonhorst got his hand on it.
Pretty good drop by Fonhorst. We talked about it earlier, the fact that he does play the pass coverage better than the Niner coaches thought he would. Look at this drop. Turn around, and he's looking back there and got a hand on it.
Do you think
intended for Brennan?
Can young Flutie make it in this league as a 5'9" quarterback with all the rollout possibilities and stuff that are available now?
Well, he certainly has everything that's needed besides maybe 4 or 5 more inches, and with his mobility, I think he can play.
That's the young man that they're saying might be the Heisman or the Maxwell Award winner, Doug Flutie from Boston College. A throw by McDonald. It's caught by Davis. Heck of a catch at the San Francisco 30, and he was still trying to break it.
Davis, a guy they call Mighty Might out there. Rookie from Baylor, 5'8", 160. Running a post pattern. It's Dana McLemore, 43 right there. And the little guy's still battling.
Tough-looking football player. He doesn't look like a trackster getting shocked for the first time. McDonald is now 11 of 30 with the 1 interception and still with the shutout. McDonald now looking for the screen to develop. Throws it to Viner, who drops it, tries to one-handed Keena Turner right in his face.
I think Viner saw a white blur coming up and wasn't entirely concentrating on the football that time.
Young coaches around the league. Marty Schottenheimer's one of them. You can see him at 41. Steckel with Minnesota, 38, going on 50 after a couple of weeks as the head coach. Stevenson, 39. Weiss at 39.
And Stevenson, Weiss, Schottenheimer, and Dan Reeves, all ex-NFL players, 4 of them.
Right. Second down and 10. Well, the Browns want a touchdown. Out in the flat, Ozzie Newsome steps out at the 22-yard line. And I think Schottenheimer's right. This club does not quit. Their effort is still there.
Well, you know, when he took over and he talked to the team in their first meeting, you know, he said he had a certain despair for the fact that Sam Rutigliano had to leave, and he told the players, he said that, you know, we were all responsible. It wasn't Sam. So we were all here and we were all responsible. And now we got to get it turned around.
Great thing that Mr. Modell told us earlier is that Art said that it was just a change in position, and that Sam Rutigliano will be at the Cleveland Browns as long as he wants to.
I like that.
Yeah, me too. Viner, holding the ball in the wrong arm, does keep possession and gets down to the 17-yard line for a first down. Don't forget, tonight on CBS, 60 Minutes. And I don't think anybody in this country goes to bed on Sunday night without watching 60 Minutes. And then Ellis Island, part 1 of a 3-part miniseries. Richard Burton, a lot of great people in that, and it's something we'll all want to watch. Ellis Island starts tonight. First and 10. Good penetration this time by the Browns. 3:40 on the clock. McDonald with time. Should be intercepted, and Davis catches the ball in the end zone. Bruce Davis outfought the 49ers secondary.
Good desire by the little guy right here. Almost the same pattern we showed you before. See who's back there. Eric Wright's 21. Dwight Hicks had it right on his numbers. Todd Shell's there, 3-1, and the Mighty Mite came up with it.
And Barr got on the field for the extra point, and I've never heard so few people make so much noise. Do they like this young man? Davis, 4 catches, 65 yards, and a high spike and touchdown catch. Look at this bunch. Don't forget, next week, NFL football here on CBS. It starts with the NFL Today at 12:30 Eastern and Pacific time. Then those of you on the West Coast will see the 49ers take on Tampa Bay. Those of you in the Mountain Time Zone will see the AFC Western Division leaders, the amazing Denver Broncos, against the Minnesota Vikings. The St. Louis Cardinals will air it out against the New York Giants in the NFC East scramble, or the Packers will meet the Rams, who are battling 4 other 6-4 teams for the wild card spot. NFL football next Sunday on CBS. Darn, that was a good catch by that young man. He gave the ball to the trainer, and they'll keep it for him, but that was an effort. That's worth the price.
Yeah, it is, and it's worth seeing again, too, I think. 3-1, you'll see, down at the end zone. Concentration, effort, and desire. A rookie out of Baylor. And you know the 49ers wanted to preserve that shutout.
Well, the offensive coordinator for Cleveland, Joe Scannella, his family lives in the Bay Area. He said to pass along his best as he could from Cleveland. Onside kick attempt. It went 10 yards. Who was it recovered by? Barr was trying the kick. Just shoved it over. I believe San Francisco came up with it.
Mike Walter, the linebacker that the 49ers got from Dallas. Dallas put him on waivers. Niners picked him up early in the year.
8 wild plays, 80 fantastic yards, and a great catch by young Davis. And by the way, the first rushing first down of the day mixed in there. Biner picked it up. Cleveland lost 5 consecutive games by a total of 14 points. Not this time. Kavanaugh tosses back. Number 24 has it. That's Derek Harmon, the young Ivy Leaguer from Cornell. Other scores from around the league. Oh boy, Miami 24, Philadelphia 23 in the 4th.
Jaworski just threw another touchdown pass in that one.
Washington now having some trouble with the Lions, but maybe too little too late. 28-14 Washington. Green Bay.
You wonder when that was going to happen.
45-17.
Because they started out so poorly.
New England, Ray Berry, our old nemesis as a receiver, is now going to win the second game as a coach. 2nd down and 5. Kavanaugh on the reverse to Harmon. The Ivy League rusher of the year last year gets inside the Cleveland 30. Golick somehow got all the way from the nose tackle spot out there to help on that tackle.
A little deception that time by the 49ers, and Earl Cooper got a good block. Ayers on the pole out in front. Just keep coming at you.
We've mentioned that once in a while San Francisco doesn't kill you. They don't put anybody away. Today they have done that very evenly and methodically, but we watched them sort of wait for the Eagles and then win the game, and we've seen them. They even wait in the one loss to Pittsburgh and then could have won it but just missed the field goal to tie.
And they did the same thing against Houston, I think, too.
But a 16-game season, you almost have to pick your places, don't you?
Yeah, you know, we talked to Bill Walsh, and he said, you know, you can only play probably about an emotional game every 3 or 4 weeks, and sometimes you have to play on your ability, and that's what they've done today.
Well, they've been even.
Most Valuable Player segment is brought to you by IBM. Growing up in Alabama, Harlan Hill's modest goal is to be a science teacher. Instead, he turns pass catching into a science. As a 15th round draft choice in 1954, Hill becomes a classic example of the unknown who attains stardom overnight. In his first season with the Chicago Bears, Hill wins both Rookie of the Year and Player of the Year honors.
It started in 1933 with our first electric. Then came typing that looked like printing. The revolutionary Selectric. And Selectrics that correct mistakes. 1984, IBM introduces the Selectric System 2000, the Wheelwriter typewriters and the Quietwriter typewriter. A new generation of typewriters from the company that makes the typewriters secretaries prefer most.
Tom Brookshire and Wayne Walker. Cleveland's stadium used to be called Municipal Stadium. The Browns on the short end of a long score, 41-7. The toss back to Ring. Ring getting some action. Gets to about the 26-yard line. Reggie Camp making a tackle. The crowd has continued to stay around. Some of them can't tell if they're hecklers or just excited football fans. 140 and counting. Don't forget, coming up next, you may see the St. Louis Cardinals and the Dallas Cowboys, or some of you will see the Rams against the Chicago Bears, right here on CBS. That's the clock that Kavanaugh's going to run off. The toss back to Harmon. Harmon breaks tackles, gets inside the 15, and good effort gets him to about the 12-yard line. The final score, Miami still unbeaten after 11, but this was really close, 24-23 over Philadelphia. Shula's got himself something there. Indianapolis 9, the Jets 5. Just had some...
Two good goalies in that one.
Kavanaugh, who came in when Montana had the ribs problem and the sternum problem, and he did so well in beating the Eagles and finishing off New Orleans one day. They're deep, and they're blessed with good people. Harmon here is really racked up at the 15. The Brown defensive players live on bruises and tough life. They love it. That's going to be it. 10-1. And 4 games against the Central Division of the AFC, and this the 4th and final one. Walsh was worried about this. He said he shortened up practices, tried to keep the guys' minds clear of problems. Once again, the final score, San Francisco 41, Cleveland 7. Now for Wayne Walker, this is Tom Brookshire saying goodbye from Cleveland. Don't forget, coming up next, the Dallas Cowboys against the St. Louis Cardinals in the showdown in the NFC East, or the Bears take on the Rams. CBS Sports coverage of the National